I still think it's funny you said your dance teacher told you you have too much ass for ballet.
Yeah,
That's great.
that's not great. It broke my little 16.
Well,
Well, are we live?
we're live, Jaffe.
People are so
69% of people
Yeah, what do they
having
want?
their asses.
Good for them. That's how it should be. Welcome to the show, my delightful delinquents. Welcome to the Madhouse. Sorry we're running a little bit late. Totally my fault. Here we go. And there's the theme song. And there's the banging. Ah, yeah, baby. Ah, yeah. Now, Bunny, they can't see it yet, but look what I acquired. Woo-hoo! What are you eating, Tech?
Rice Krispie treats.
Ooh. I know what Bunny's got. I know what Bunny's brought to eat. God damn it. All right, Bunny, you ready? Get ready. Pull it, Bunny. Pull it now. There is Solar Edge, the greatest hero that we all need and desire. Holy cow, Bunny. You get more beautiful and larger every day. Look how big you are. You've escaped the confines of the madhouse. And now you watch all of us from above like some sort of clown god from Lovecraft himself. How are you, Bunny? Yeah, I'm good, but I hit what the fuck? What is that sound? Oh shit, here we go. Here he comes. Here he comes. We got to kick Mono off. I'm doing that tomorrow. Canty, of course, will always be near and dear to our beautiful hearts. Good to see you, Canty. Nice to see you, Mono. Get your ass away from the fucking LCU and come back where you belong, where you're loved. Where are they going tonight, Tech?
Today, they're getting surveyed.
Wait, nobody can hear you. They're getting surveyed by what?
Surveyed by the robots, by our new overlords,
Okay.
the AI.
Oh, yeah. We got some AI tonight, babies. We got some weird shit going down tonight. Welcome, my friends, to the Madhouse. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, welcome to the Madhouse.
They're saying our volume's too low, Jaffe.
Your volume's too low, whore. I got him!
You right-click
You
us
told him.
on Discord.
Yeah, let me check
So
it.
if we're
Let's get... I think it was because of the music, though, honestly. Try now. Let's get technical.
I'm speaking now, doing a speak thing. Bunny, can you say
Speaking
words?
and talking.
Welcome. Welcome to Gavin and Games. How's the audio, fellas? How's it looking tonight?
It's looking better, and we have Necrophagiac
With $5, early worm gets the corpse. Let's slam this train into high gear. Chew. Chew.
All right, hang on a sec. All right, hang on. Let me get the chat up and we will get started. We have a very packed show. We have a guest tonight as well. But yes, Necro, early worm gets the corpse. Let's start again. We're going to hang. Necro, thank you, buddy. By the way, we are doing this Saturday our Pot and Popcorn stream, double feature. It can be any fucking, still low for them. Bunny is lower.
What?
Maybe you got to speak into the mic more, Bunny. I don't know, or turn up your gain
I'm
because
right at it.
I got you at 100 and there's nothing else I can say. Something, Bunny. Do a test.
Saying something and doing a test.
Do it again, please.
Doing it again and saying something again.
All right,
Yeah, I'm up as high as I can go on my end.
Oh, baby, come on now, come on
Yeah,
now.
she is quiet on stream for some reason.
I mean, are you quiet on stream, Tech?
Let me check
I'm-
and make sure.
Maybe your gain just
I'm
needs...
better.
All right. People say you just need to speak up. Says Grassfed.
Yeah, Bunny.
Yeah,
Get
Bunny.
louder, Bunny.
I am speaking up.
Oh, there we go. There we go. We discovered our fucking inner voice, didn't we? That's the little 10-year-old girl that caused havoc on the playground
Listen, y'all.
and made the teachers tell your parents that you got to keep an eye on this one. She's a whimsical skedaddler.
Your mic is high as fuck.
Your mic-
gain is.
Yeah.
You can't talk
See,
to me
maybe
that
it's
way.
not that I'm lower. Maybe it's that y'all are just loudmouth dum-dums.
You're a
Jaffe
loud...
turned himself up really high.
All right, how
K
about
Nubs,
that?
$5 says I
Jesus.
choose the Madhouse over any other YouTube show.
You were probably a little terror when you were 10 years old, Bunny Button.
And now
you
you're so
know it.
quiet. What the fuck is up
And
with
I
your
love
audio,
that.
Jaffe?
That's
Listen.
not an insult. I love that about you. Like, you were probably the one that people like, y'all fucking be wary of Bunny Button. She'll cut you.
Oh, yeah, I have lots of problems, but
No, that's not a problem.
also,
that's Moxie, baby.
I am deaf in one ear. It is really hard for me to regulate
That's your
how
fault.
loud I'm talking. So, I know. So, I'm just making everybody feel bad that tells me I don't talk loud enough. I'm deaf and y'all are ableist.
If you're deaf, you should be speaking louder so you can hear you.
Look
Well, I
who's
used to talk
decided
really loud.
to
and I
kick
got
off
yelled at
the
a lot
show
for it.
being a little sassy pot. Let me tell you something, Bunny. I feel for your ear, baby. But at the same time, you need to get your microphone come correct, because the people want to hear you, baby.
My microphone is correct. Jaffe has me turned down because he hates me.
Bunny, that's not nice. That's not nice.
Yeah, but it's not nice, but the truth isn't always nice.
No, that's not true. Listen, welcome to the show, fellas. Great to see everybody. Tech, keep an eye on the audio. Let's make sure that we're better. Bunny, just do the best you can. Put it as close to your mouth as possible. Come on now. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Here's the point, though. We have a very big show tonight, and pot and popcorn. So what I was going to say is we have K-Nubs already in Necro. If you guys want to put a movie on the wheel, if you plan on attending, or even if you don't plan on attending the pot and popcorn this Saturday at 2 o'clock California time, we're fixing to pick the 2 movies on this show, or at least one of them. Once we get a wheel filled up with 10, we'll spin it. And it'll compete with another wheel for movie number 1. You can put whatever kind of movie you want now. It's a pot and popcorn thing, so it can be bullshit, it can be a comedy, it can be horror, it can be serious. Just know it'll be on the event stage, which means if everybody's talking too much and you're like, watch the movie, you can just turn everybody off and watch it. But I'm going to be high as a kite, and I'm going to be talking over it. That's the kind of movie you probably should pick.
I personally, because I have not seen any movies, and I trust this community. Drop a movie you think is like, wow, this guy has seen no films. Fuck it, here's a good movie.
Okay, well, the fact that you haven't seen Goodfellas is a crime, but I don't really know if Goodfellas is probably might be a good.
Is Goodfellas like the prequel to Godfather?
No, it's not. It is about mobsters and gangsters and stuff in on the East Coast, but it's not have anything to do with that. Other than that, it's just the same kind of scenarios.
K-Nubs wants Kids in the Hall brain candy.
Okay, put that on the wheel. That's up for you, K-Nubs. And then Necro, if you got something you want, pop it in there. Oh, I agree, Rob. Goodfellas is I don't know if it's the best movie ever, but it's in the top 5. It's delightful. It's fucking great. Ma, can I take this knife? You goddamn right. Now, this is a very busy week here on the channel. I hope you'll join us for a lot of these things. Let me just show you the schedule because it's going to be a little bizarre and strange, and I want to make sure everybody knows what's up. Partially why I'm late tonight, because it's just been a strange week. So here's the schedule. This is us right now. We are doing a seller gold door tonight. We're going to turn the phones on. We finally convinced Tech it's okay to take phone calls. And so we'll be taking calls on the Discord, but also on your smartphone, so it's easier to call in. There may or may not be horror demos during that. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Tomorrow in the morning, I'll be on Colin Moriarty's show, and then 1 o'clock, 1:15, I will start broadcasting and prep for State of Play. We'll do Sony State of Play, and then we'll do a proper Gabbin' and Games marbled into it afterwards, talk about it. There is a normal Madhouse tomorrow night. The next morning, it's a normal day. Gabbin' and Games, 10 o'clock, show prep in the afternoon, and then 6 o'clock Madhouse. Summer Game Fest is the big show. That is going to be live on this channel at 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And then we're going to be doing Friday High Day, Madhouse, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock or whatever, however late we go. I may or may not be streaming the Wholesome Game Fest and Gabbin' and Games Saturday morning. We definitely will be doing Pot and Popcorn. So that's what the week looks like. If you are wondering about the Summer Games Fest coverage on this channel, that is what is going down. So, okay, that's number 1. Number 2, because we also have a guest we want to bring on tonight. I do want to read some really interesting comments from the chat or from the comment section from YouTube from last night. Stay Grape Shot says, as a deaf person, because if you remember, we were talking about that room the Microsoft Quiet Room that people were saying there was a $5 million challenge. It's not really a $5 million challenge, but it is a room that people struggle to stay in mightily. He says, as a deaf person, I can tell you exactly why the silent room is so unsettling to normal people. It is a room that basically you cannot even hear the sounds of air particles. It is and it's also pitch black. Sounds are so constant and prevalent in a normal person's life, they don't even recognize them anymore. What people mistake for silence is actually loud as fuck. And when the background of hums and clicks and shuffles is yanked away, like when I turn off my hearing aid, this guy says, and one experiences true raw silence, it feels so foreign, it becomes terrifying. Now, that's I want to experience that now. I like when my buttons get pushed by shit like that. I don't know if I could last an hour in that room. Bunny, do you think you could last an hour in that room?
Oh, hell no.
Why?
I know I couldn't.
Why not? Is it the darkness or the quiet?
The quiet. Yeah. Yeah, just like what he said, like the silence is deafening. Yeah, like once you hear nothing and you have no, like, reference, I feel like you just lose all track of time and it's too much in your head. I wouldn't, nah.
Got it. Okay. All right. I would, no, well, Ricky says just go into a sleep deprivation tank. I have been in there, but you can hear the water. You can hear yourself floating. It's not, deprivation tank is not everything goes away. It's just a shift in what your reality is, but you can still hear shit. Okay.
I'd love it.
One Pump Man says you guys should do a phone call goal. It is a phone call goal. $200. Let's go. In fact, we're $10 in, I think, right, Tech?
The gold door counts after we select the movies.
Oh, we got to select the movies. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Busted Horn Blacksmith says he's talking about the woman who undid herself 160 feet above the ocean parasailing and fell to her death. He says, I did the parasailing once. It was terrifying. I'm glad I did it because I like to have novel experiences, but I'll never do it again. I wasn't even harnessed in like that woman. I was just sitting on a little 2-inch wide nylon strap and then holding on to it as it went up both my sides. I was so scared I was going to fall. When I got off the ride, my forearms and hands were so sore that day and the next because I had such a death grip on the straps. My point is, I was in that situation. I was afraid, but I definitely felt like I would die if I fell. If I hadn't had that experience, I would have think she panicked and jumped thinking the water would save her. And then finally, Bronco Monster. In regards to the lady that undid her parachute, I will say there is often a level of calm serenity that comes over you once you've definitely made the decision to end it all. That might be why she did it all so methodically. You know, I have heard different stories about that. I have heard there was a really interesting article a couple years back about people that did survive incredible, against all odds, jumping off. It was like either the Golden Gate Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge or whatever, and their intent was suicide. And they did survive, and there was like 3 of them, and they interviewed them, and each one of them said, the minute I jumped off, I did not want to die. It's like the instant I knew, oh shit, I'm doing it, I didn't want this. I can tell you, listen, my life is so much better today because there was somebody in my life that was going to wrap it all up. And they called me and texted me after they had sort of done what they thought was going to take them out. And I knew that I couldn't really talk them out of it, but I knew if I just stayed on the line with them long enough, maybe they would come to the conclusion that they didn't want to go out. And that's exactly what happened. And once they told me where they were, we got an ambulance there right away. But it was pretty fucking terrifying because you can't talk somebody out of it. And they've already done what they said they were going to do. In this case, ingested a bunch of stuff. And so you're just going, can I keep them going long enough for them to recognize this is a bad idea? Thank God that happened.
Jaffe.
Yeah, what's going on, technology protection head?
So far we have Brain Candy K-Nubs and Necrophagiac said Fifth Element. Is that the Avatar movie or is that the orange-haired girl?
Orange-haired girl.
Orange-haired girl.
It's Bruce Willis and who's the guy in Rush Hour, the high-pitched voice guy?
Not Eddie Murphy. It's Chris Tucker.
Yeah, I think he's in Fifth Element. Bruce Willis is in it. It's a good movie. Yeah. T. James, thank you for the $5 super chat. £5. That was last. He says, I was watching last night's episode, and the part about intrusive thoughts. I often wonder if pilots ever get the urge to nosedive towards the ground. I don't know, but I would imagine. And thank God there's a co-pilot. Because I mean, by the time here's what I would do. I would if I were to do it. I imagine the minute you just even push the stick or whatever, the wheel or whatever they call the thing, forward, just at a herky jerk moment, you go, oh my God, no. I think that, at most that's what might happen.
There have been pilots.
There have been a few though.
But yeah, they were suicidal and
they took out the whole plane. Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead and send me what movie you want for the wheel, Mr.
Yeah, T. James, what do you want to put on the wheel? We'll be spinning it soon. You guys are doing the Lord's work. We appreciate it. Now, we have a guest. What we're trying this week, we tried it last night with my brother. We're going to try it tonight with a guy who I only have met through tech. I haven't met him, but tech's described him. He sounds very interesting. He's a real popular TikToker who plays a lot of horror games, has a really interesting story. It's not that we're going to interview him, although we are going to a little bit because I'm fascinated by him. But it's the idea of bringing on a rotating fourth, see what that does to spice up the format of the show. Somebody different every night, or maybe we go through a rotation of people. But, me and Bunny and Tech are constant, and there's a wild card. So, Tech, according to Tech, I said, Tech, how do you know this guy? And Tech says, he's my best friend.
Yeah, it's my best friend.
My best friend.
And why don't you give an intro and let's roll him on out here.
Yeah, so I'll bring him in because he'll be more embarrassed if I say it with him here. Turn on your camera, Scorpicus, please.
Ooh,
thank
good
you.
movie, Rocker Matt. Thank you for the super chat.
Clerks 2?
Clerks 2.
Is it like about fucking grocery stores?
Shit. T. James says, no, Clerks 2 is a sequel to Kevin Smith's first movie. Rocker Matt is Clerks 2, and then T. James says he'll go with Days of Thunder. That's a good fucking movie that doesn't get the love it deserves. Days of Thunder, it's a Tom Cruise movie. He's a race car. He's salt of the earth race car driver. Tech,
okay.
And he knows what's up. All these other people with their highfalutin degrees and book learning, and he's out there showing that track who's boss with just the sweat of his brow and the all-American mentality that he was born with. That's Days of Thunder. It's good stuff.
Well, everybody, this right here.
Hang on. The Matrix, Mooch, one of the best movies ever. Although it does make some people kill their families. It really has. It's happened twice because of it.
That's crazy.
Oh, shit.
Thank
you, Mooch.
On screen.
Thank you, Mooch. Yes.
Thank you, Mooch.
Who do we got? Who do we got?
This is Scorpicus.
Hello,
the Scorpicus. Little intro of this guy. Fan favorite. I'm his best friend. I love him. He's my favorite person. Outside of your
It's true.
Your daughter. Powder. What is Powder? Bunny. Thank you for the $5, Bunny.
Oh my God, this guy kind of looks like Powder a little bit.
What is Powder?
Do you know my ex-wife, Sarah's mom, went on a date with that guy who plays Powder in the movie? And he also went on to play young Indiana Jones. It was in the movie called The Boondock Saints. Powder's
that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Powder's one of my favorite movies in the whole
But
world.
you mean Boondock Saints, though?
Yeah.
I've not seen that one. But, I have to tell you a Boondock Saints story. Okay, but Powder is a great movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. Thank you, Bunny Button, for putting that on the list.
Yeah, I'll intro after. Go ahead.
Boondock Saints. So I went to USC for school. My roommate really, he said he wanted to be a cinematographer. He was going to be my DP, blah, blah, blah. But he was so clearly an agent in the making from the minute I met him. Freshman year, he basically went and got an LA Times, stuck it in an envelope, and snuck us onto the back lot of Universal by telling the security guard, I have to deliver this script to Robert Zemeckis. And I'm like, okay. And so we walked in, had run of the place all Sunday. But anyway, the point is, he ended up representing, and they made a documentary about it, the guy who wrote and directed Boondock Saints. And Boondock Saints was so in demand as a script that when it was purchased, the deal that my roommate made for the guy, I forget the director-writer's name, he kind of crashed and burned, but he told Harvey Weinstein, he says, okay, yeah, you can have my script, but I'm going to direct it, which was unheard of because first-time director. and I work in this bar, and I want you to buy me the bar that I work in. And he got the bar, he got the script paid for, and he got to be the director of Boondock Saints. And there's a
crazy.
really great documentary. He had these massive delusions of grandeur. Boondock Saints went on to be obviously a cult classic, but he never really did anything after that. The point is, it's Scorpagus.
Scorpagus, the man himself.
Yes.
Handsome young man, talented as fuck musician, good entertainer when it comes to getting scared watching video game stuff. Big horror games guy. Known him for about 3 years, about 2.5 at least. Great fellow. He has an interesting little what would you say, condition?
I didn't say
Sure. Yeah.
I didn't say Epstein. I said Weinstein. They're both
Weinstein,
creeps.
different guy.
They're both creeps, but they're very different. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scorpagus.
No, you're good.
So, Scorp, do you want to talk about? Because I mentioned it to Jaffe about your agoraphobia. How bad is your agoraphobia?
It depends on my mental state, but it can get rough. Depends on the month, who I'm with, how my life's going. I mean, even things like financial status, how often I go out. But it could be anywhere from a block to 7, and that is walking or driving. And that might double or triple with pretty severe hard work. I just can't get too lax or that bubble will shrink.
But you go outside your home to get the mail, and it's no big deal. It's just a set distance once you get like far enough out to see, or it's immediate and it just gets undoable once you get a certain distance.
It's markers. But I have a PO box that is about 7 blocks down, and so I have to drive there. Sometimes that is just too far, and I will go a month and a half without checking mail. So if I end up getting a court summons or something, I wouldn't hear.
Right. So where does this come from, first off? Like, have you always had it, or did something trigger this and you suddenly woke up and you were agoraphobic? Which, if you don't know what agoraphobia is, can you just give them a simple definition? Some people may not know what we're talking about.
Sure. So like colloquially, people will use it for like an intense fear of either places you can't escape from, places that have too many people around them, high anxiety moments that end up taking you from where you're at outside to a safe place where you're going to want to be. Intense fear of places, people. It just depends, on the person to person.
So when people say, oh, it's people who don't want to leave their home, it's not always the fact that outside their home is necessarily, it's what being outside your home represents, because those triggers are out there, the people, the noises, and things like that. It's not that you don't want to be in the sunshine.
The impetus can change from person to person, but for most of them, the end result is they end up having to go back to safety.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for you, where did this start?
Interesting story. I was a touring musician for about 6 years, and I went all across the United States and some other countries. And while I was at a folk festival volunteering for about 2.5 weeks, I was playing there, had a couple main stage shows. Just one day I'm playing guitar at a song circle and I just start spinning out of nowhere. And so I'm thinking to myself that I took some water from the local, jug out there that everyone's using at the festival, and I got dosed. I go lay down. The vertigo is so intense, I pass out, which had never happened to me before. And I wake up and it's still happening and it doesn't end. This could end up being a fairly long story, but
just so I'm clear, because I've had vertigo twice, and it's terrifying and it's horrifying when you don't know what it is. You think you're having a stroke or something. But
yeah,
you were simply so this was vertigo. It wasn't something
It was
else.
vertigo from the result of nerve damage. I had vestibular neuritis. I had a nasty virus creep into my inner ear nerves, and it destroyed them. And just to find that out was about 8 months of hell, because they thought it was cancer. I went to neurologists. I went to so-and-so. And it took me going to an ENT and an audiologist to be like, you have 78% of your nerves are shot here. And thank God we put you on benzodiazepines, because, at this point, I'm seizing 6 hours out of the day. I'm bedridden. I did therapy, balance therapy. I bought a Wii Fit I mean, I have never been mandatorily. I've never had to buy a video game, but
Right.
you know, it was a decent excuse.
Right.
Um,
But
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was vertigo because of that. So you had this
yes.
terrifying experience being out in the world, and that brought you to a place where now you don't want to be out in the world because you're worried, even though you've dealt with this. I guess you can't play music anymore, I assume. Or, I mean, did the hearing thing fuck up your music ability, or your agoraphobic fucked up your music career?
The agoraphobia definitely fucked the music career completely up. But I mean, I'd like to just to give it kind of like a more imagery example of like what the agoraphobia is like. It's not just you feeling like you're spinning, because when you're spinning, your eyes try to readjust like you're on like a merry-go-round and you're going really fast and you stop and it does this and then resets over and over. It's also how you orient yourself with where you feel you are in the world, right? So it's not just that you feel you're spinning, you also feel like you're free falling, and you feel like you're spinning different on different axes while that's happening. So it's a very interesting feeling of feeling like you're being thrown around a room while you're falling, and that happens. So you're having a panic attack 24/7. So my ability to produce dopamine after a while got shot. My amygdala was going haywire because I was having panic attacks 7 or 8 hours throughout the day and having Jacksonian seizures for about 4 of them.
You were having panic attacks because you didn't know what was happening to you, or you knew it was just scary?
Even afterwards, I knew, and it's such an intense feeling that there's nothing that could have ever prepared. And mind you, I was a touring musician. I was a fairly extroverted character. I would go from A to B and be fine, sleep in national parks, drive 5 hours to go wherever 24/7. And now I'm here 6 years later.
Were you throwing
How
up
old were you
a
when
lot?
that started?
I want to say mid-20s roughly. I am now the ripe old age of 31.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Were you vomiting? Because when I had vertigo, the dehydration is what did it to me. I couldn't stop throwing up. Did your vertigo make you throw up, or it doesn't sound like that was the biggest issue for you?
I mean, I was of course very, very nauseous, but there wasn't like when I had to be doped up for most of it.
Right.
Because just your brain can't. It's just, I mean, imagine taking like having an acid trip or some kind of trip, and then it just not ending for a year. It is what it does to your brain is amazing. And I kind of knew, and one of the scary things was I kind of realized this happened about 2 or 3 years afterwards when the agoraphobia got really bad, was when I was starting to be agoraphobic in my dreams.
Oh Jesus! What? How?
Oh, no.
So even my escape was gone.
What did that look like? You're in your dreams, and you. What does it even
So
mean?
I had learned how to lucid dream at a young age.
Oh, I want to do it. I want to do it. Keep going though.
I'll teach you, Jaffe. I'll teach you.
Please
It's right. It's right here. The information's right
Be
here.
my Obi-Wan. I'll be Anakin, not Anakin, because he went bad.
These are the droids you are looking for.
That's right. But so you were lucid dreaming, which sounds delightful. Could you do it every night if you wanted to?
if I wanted to, yes. I mean, if you just end up falling asleep, sometimes it's whatever. And the less you practice it, the more it goes away eventually.
Right.
And anyways, so yeah, when dreaming, I would have fanciful dreams of me walking down streets by my old high school. I would have, I mean, for me, that's fanciful. And then it got to the point where I was having dreams where I was like having to be at an airport or be on an airplane or having to drive somewhere or be in a car, old memories. And I started to have serious anxiety while I was asleep. And it's a rough feeling because when you're seriously agoraphobic, one of the ways you can get out there in the world is dreaming. There are some pleasurable events that people take for granted.
Right.
And
well, I do want to talk to you, not tonight because I'll derail us for hours on lucid dreaming. I have one lucid dreaming question though. Because I talked to this guy who's over on the LCU, Billy, and he said he had mastered lucid dreaming. He could do it whenever he wanted. And I said, well, why don't you just do it every fucking night? He said, I did for a while, but he said, you don't get a good night's sleep when you lucid dream. At least he didn't. He said he woke up tired because he had been active all night long. Is that what you found, or you woke up and it still felt like you had gotten a good 8 hours or whatever?
It still felt like I had gotten a decent. I didn't notice any kind of difference. There was no corollary that was like, oh, here's something. Nah, it was I've never been one to get great sleep though, so that could also be a factor.
And you had full control. It wasn't like you woke up and you were like, was that a dream, or did I dream that I was aware? Or it was like, no, I am fully lucid.
I had a methodology at the start of the lucid dream to practice, and then I would do more. The more you interact with the lucid dream, and I got to say this is just like empirically from my end. I would, the more advanced things that I would do in the dream, the more that the dream would not necessarily fall apart like an Inception, but I was on a timer for wake up. If it got to the point where I was doing it too much or too awake, I knew I had what felt like 5 to 10 minutes in the dream. There's no way for me to know on the outside.
Right.
And then and so I would try to crank it up, and right at the end I'd do something really obscene to.
Okay. So what I always wonder is if you had that much control to go into that state, and it was a real state, I would sleep every minute I could, right? I mean, what prevented you from going? I mean, to me, if you could snap your fingers and lucid dream, I imagine the productivity of this world would collapse, right? But maybe not.
Yeah.
Because
it's what I had found is that when I started a lucid dream, and of course, dream cycles happen within either an hour and a half, 2 hours. There's different. I mean, of course, it's different for different people, but there's different cycles that happen. And so you can imagine that you don't really have a dream that lasts like 8 hours. You can have a dream that lasts like 45 minutes, one that feels like it's 3 days, that lasts 20 minutes. It can get kind of wonky as your REM cycle goes wonky. When I would lucid dream, I would notice at maximum I would have 20 to 30 minutes. And I knew while I was lucid dreaming that I almost needed to just relax and almost pretend as though I wasn't, and not engage with anything weird. Just exist in the moment, exist in the dream to extend how long I could be in that state.
I assume the first thing you did was have sex with, like, what, Megan Fox or whoever you're into, girl, guy, whatever.
It was tech. It was every time. It was awesome.
Come on,
it was
now.
just repeatedly tech.
Oh, come on. You wasted your gifts. You wasted your gifts.
He's not going to get it in real life. It's the only way to do it.
That's
there
right.
was a lot of sex having. I learned this at like 14. So,
you
I mean, it's
must
like,
have been the coolest kid in school.
It was like like dream jorking it. Wild.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
Want to just get to the super chats. Mr. Stinky Brew, thank you so much for the £2 sterling. Exorcist 3 is the best horror movie of all time. Thank you. Ectoplasm Arcade with 5 Canadian says Pee-wee's Big Adventure for the movie wheel. Added it. Thank you, sir. Pompish with $5 says Dana White from the UFC CEO got hit in the head by somebody and had that happen to him. It is one of the worst things you can get.
The thing that caused the spins or the vertigo.
The ear thing. He confirmed he wanted the Last Samurai movie.
Ooh, that's a good movie.
Is that an anime movie? Is that animation?
No. It's a Tom Cruise film.
Okay. Mr. Stinky Brew with another $2 sterling says, was it a wet one? Like really wet? Question mark?
His dreams. Clearly they
the
were.
Dreams.
At least
and Fairy Queenie, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Welcome. Drop Dead Fred for the movie wheel. That's added.
Never seen it. I worked as an intern at New Line Cinema when they were making that movie, but I never got around to watching it. So
that was one of my favorite movies. When
we have
a lot of people love that movie. Yeah.
One more movie and we spin the wheel.
Okay, so I want to get to. Thank you guys so much for those super chats. We appreciate it, and I am looking at the chat while we're talking to Scorp because I'm just focusing right now on getting this information because it's fascinating to me. So I'm not ignoring you guys in the chat, but so you have this terrifying experience. And now you don't want to get too far away from home because why?
It is almost. I mean, it's almost purely intuitive, and it's definitely subconscious. I mean, I can rationalize it, and I'm a very rational person. I know that if I go outside and I happen to be teleported somewhere, that I'm not going to suffocate to death. But I know that it feels like it so much that your brain flips a switch when you're. I mean, it feels like you have a gun to your head, and you're in a tank full of sharks. And you're watching a meteor fall to the earth because you crossed that one marker. Is it because you're worried that you're going to start spinning again? I mean, panic attacks definitely have something to do with it. But when the anxiety ramps up too much and you kind of reach that point where you're like, I might panic. As soon as you have that in your head where you might panic, if I know that I'm not going to panic, if I know it for sure, I'm not going to panic. but it's so subconscious that my brain goes, that marker there is where you panicked last, and
Okay.
it starts to build
So
it up as
you're
you get to
actually
there.
afraid
your
of
eyes go
the
out.
panic attack. Is what you're afraid of.
It's just the physiological effects on my body and my brain that scare the absolute dog shit out of me. And it's almost like imagine a paradigm where you're just deathly afraid of rabbits. Extremely hard to do, but it's extremely easy to say if you're in it. Like,
Right. Okay.
you have to experience it.
And you've been to therapy and you've tried to exposure therapy and all this shit and nothing has helped so far?
I have went through 4 or 5 therapists, 2 or 3 psychiatrists, 4 psychologists, a very nice ENT, and a pineapple and a pear tree or whatever.
What about ketamine? Have you looked into ketamine treatment?
There's another interesting part to the story. I can't do any kind of drugs now
Because
the psychosis, the paranoia, anything that might at all affect my state of mind
Perception,
and my perception at all, depth or otherwise, it is so scary that I developed I could honestly call it psychosis, to where I wasn't ingesting anything that I wasn't 100% sure didn't have anything that might change my perception. So, and that got so bad that I was starting to question canned goods. What happens if there's this one person on an assembly line that happened to spill an ounce of Coke in this Wolf's chili? And so now I'm spitting out food. And now I'm changing the ways that I eat and interact in public. I have a lot that I could talk about.
Are you married or with someone, or you live with your parents? Or I'm just wondering how it's affected your direct relationships with people in the home.
I live on my own.
Okay.
When it happened, I was housebound. I couldn't care for myself. So I got schlepped from Houston, Texas to Colorado, where my parents retired. And I stayed there for a while until I was able, it took me about 8 months to be able to go to the mailbox. Once I could do that, I was able to go a little farther and farther. Then I had some bad incidents that pushed it back. And now I'm out on my own in this place. And
do you have an anticipation for a life where this won't be an issue, or are you just resigned to, like, this is me, as Bunny says?
I really don't have that luxury, because I'm not. It's been so long since I've done things. All I have in me is the memory of things going poorly, and it's difficult to. One, it's unfair to have long-lasting relationships with people. Because you can't promise them anything. You can barely take care of yourself.
Right.
So that can be socially, it's wild. I've lost a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
A lot of people that don't even know that I'm agoraphobic. I just had to cut them off for them, not me.
Oh, wow.
So
that must be weird. If you didn't tell them, they must think like you hate them.
I mean,
Please explain it
sometimes.
to him.
No, he just said he didn't tell them.
Well, some people I didn't say anything. Some people I'm like, hey, here's my situation now. I hope you understand. But I'd say for the vast majority of like relationships that you have, these are ephemeral relationships. You know, you'll talk to someone for 8 months, maybe on Discord. They get busy. They have a kid. They're playing a new game.
Okay,
it could be anything. And so you kind of
when
you live like me, you have to take advantage of some of those situations and just because you want the best with the people around you.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Right,
hang on. I know you want to spin the wheel, but hang on. I have questions. So what about video games, not just virtual reality, open world games? Does any of that trigger anything, or it's so clearly not false?
Can I give a story? We had a little community outside of here before, and we were really big on playing like Minecraft. Scorp can't play like Minecraft too well because seeing the open sky fucks him up and the bobbing of the character. So like he would only have to play like underground or like in the house. It's his agoraphobia went into video games.
Okay, but is that just
my
because
balance issues?
Right. Okay, I get that. Like I worked on Twisted Metal with a co-designer who couldn't play the game because it gave him a headache. Right. But I get the being in a 3D space is uncomfortable. But what about just the idea of open spaces in a video game? Like even if the camera was maybe isometric, like does it? I guess what I'm wondering is, does it carry over digitally if it wasn't for the bobbing and weaving of the? Because I'm sure you can turn that off in settings, the head bob and stuff.
Yeah, that'll give me migraines. The for like the agoraphobia. No, I'm totally one of my escapes, and one of the reasons why I have been playing. I mean, I've been playing games for 16 hours a day for the past 25 years.
Right.
So I would do it no matter what. But what affects me for games generally is just balance, inner ear stuff, bobbing, like Sea of Thieves on ships. There's a lot of instances where I just can't. I mean, some of my escapes are that I spent 1,200 hours hunting deer in Skyrim. Like, I'm weird. So
No, a lot of people. I mean, 1,200 I can't relate to, but a lot of I get that. And look,
yeah.
I love that. I mean, I love the fact that, not that I love that you have this malady that you're struggling with, but the fact that there is an escape and that you have, I assume you've carved out a pretty successful TikTok career, and you're a streamer now, and not only you get to emerge into these digital worlds, you have these friends all over the place. And I mean, as a 54-year-old, that was never an option when when I was your age, it was starting to become an option. But
I wouldn't have made it. In your era, I wouldn't have made it, especially with like the cultural like normativity around like work ethic and stuff like that. I have a great work ethic. It's just logistics.
Right.
So I was fortunate for this to happen to me in the era that I happen to live in, to give me potentiality to even do things like make friendships with people like tech, make friendships, like have relationships. I have had an active sex life for 6 straight years, and I live in the middle of nowhere. With
a digital active sex life, or people come to your house?
Both.
Okay. Now I have questions.
We'll get to those questions after we spin the wheel.
After we spin the wheel.
Stick Solid, also 5 Canadian, says this
okay,
guy's
first
a
off,
serious
fuck
brand
you,
risk.
Stick Solid. He says put Sophie's Choice on the wheel in honor of Grimm. Fuck you for 2 reasons. 3 reasons. That movie is so depressing. B, it's boring as fuck. And C, you're going to hell. Sorry, Tech, continue.
All right. Stick Solid says, this guy's a serious brand risk. You're definitely going to get sued by Wolf's Brand Chili now. That's funny. It made me giggle. All right, Jaffe, are you showing the wheel on YouTube?
Yeah, but what about we got other super chats? If we're gonna do super chats, let's
I read all the super chats.
You didn't read the one from Event Horizon, and what about Bigfoot Alt? Which is this Ken?
Oh, I
It's the
didn't read
guy
this one.
that pretends to
Is
be
this
Ken.
actually Ken?
No,
or not
it's
really
the Ken impersonator.
Okay.
Stop by the Madhouse today to say hi to the crew and hope you're all doing well. Just going to say, I can't hate the doors of the Madhouse open. There we go. Thank you, Bigfoot. I also got his 4 movies for the next wheel.
All right, here we go. Let's
watch
spin the
stream.
wheel. Let's see what we got. Watch stream is up. Now, just as a reminder, the winner of this one will go head to head with the winner of the next one to pick movie number 1. Movie number 2 will go through the same process. So hopefully by the end of this, we will have our 2 movies. All right, Tech, spin the wheel.
Perfect. I got Brain Candy, K-Nubs, Fifth Element, Necro, Clerks 2, Rocker Matt, Days of Thunder from T. James, The Matrix from Mooch, Powder from Bunny, Pee-wee's Big Adventure from Ectoplasm. That sounds like a porno.
No, it's a great movie. It's a great movie.
The Last Samurai from Pompish, Drop Dead Fred from Fairy Queenie, and Event Horizon from K-Nubs.
Almost every one of these is fucking great.
Yeah.
And here we go.
All right.
Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy by K-Nubs.
All right, that'll be going head to head with whatever is on the next wheel. So here we go.
Yeah, we have 4 already, just 6 more
What
for
are
the second wheel.
Dogma, Outbreak, Sinister, Event Horizons on there as well. Oh,
Yeah, from Bigfoot
okay,
Alt.
Okay, so if Brain Candy lands, I'm saying fuck family and not going to the reunion. Yeah, fuck your little stupid family. K-Nubs, nobody cares.
Oh, and Sophie's Choice by Stick Solid.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
No way.
Oh, I will
Oh my
not show up
God.
if it's Sophie's Choice, or I'll be playing a game on the other screens. Okay, anyway,
How's it such a bad movie?
Is it scary, Jaffe?
it is about the Holocaust, where Meryl Streep is stopped on a platform where the Jews are being loaded up into trains, and a Nazi comes up to her and says, "Hey, Sophie," because that's her name. "I see you have 2 kids there, a boy and a girl. We're going to put one on the train and kill it. You can keep the other one. Make a choice, Sophie." AKA
I
the
support
title.
giving
Watch that in
giving
high
women
school?
choices.
Yeah, women
Yeah, right.
deserve autonomy.
And it's also
Yeah.
just terribly boring and pretentious.
We had to watch that in high school. I thought that was like a thing everybody did.
I never heard of it.
Because even my older sister, she had to watch it in high school.
I got, I was raised Jewish, so I wasn't like being anti-Semitic or anything. Somebody made a Sophie's Choice Lego set, like as a joke. Like, oh look, we've got the brand rights to Sophie's Choice. We're gonna make Legos.
That's not inappropriate.
It's super inappropriate. That's why it's hilarious. And this rabbi wrote me, and she got all mad at me, and I'm like, lady, I'm not. Of course, it's horrible. That's why it's funny. It's terrible. Anyway, all right, Rocker Matt. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for that.
Beavis and Butthead putting it on the wheel.
So now,
Big Bob says, so it's a comedy movie.
No, it's really not good. Rocker Matt, thank you, buddy, very, very, very much. Now, Scorpicus, you stream, according to Tech, mostly horror video games, correct?
Yeah.
Did you watch the Horror Award Summer Showcase this weekend?
Did not. I missed it.
There were some really, really good demos on there. I think Resident Evil may get revealed RE9 this week. In fact, tomorrow at State of Play. But I love those, but I do play a lot of indie horror games. What is your kind of brand that you like to stream?
I was big into Phasmophobia. Was big into that. Was big into a mortuary assistant.
Yep.
Both of those actually have fantastic AI. If you guys end up getting into that, those two were really my bread and butter. I would do some stuff for myself when I would talk about political things or like philosophy, like EverQuest 2, some like 90s RPGs. Was a big fan of those. Still am. But I would say those two I like doing. And then I would do like little indie horrors out there, like Escape the Ayuwoki, which has also great AI for it and uses your microphone. I mean, I have lists. There's a specific game developer called Amica Games, and they make Russian indie horror games that are all cheap, fairly quick, like 30 to 45 minutes long, and chocked with jump scares. Amazing series of games.
I will Summer of '58, September 7th.
Play all of them.
Okay.
And my jump scare factor for me, I have no tolerance for jump scares. I love them to death, but they don't love me. So it's every time there's a reaction, it is almost unnecessary. And so I wear, as I'd love to talk about biometrics later, when we talk about like things like AI and how horror games are like really getting crazy with AI. Biometrics, heart rate monitors, things like that. And then you have them on your Bluetooth for your phone and you put them on stream.
To see how scared you actually are getting.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't fake that.
That's awesome.
No, the best thing that ever happened for me, and because I love horror, and I play tons of horror games, and I play up and down the budgetary spectrum. I haven't heard of Amica, but like Puppet Combo does a lot of that stuff. There's kind of this kind of wonderful short form horror, which I adore. But it wasn't until I started smoking pot that I got to get scared. Because, I haven't been scared of movies and games since I was, 12 watching Friday the 13th Part 3. Now, when I play games and I'm a little stoned, it's great. It is so fun to be scared like that. So and you stream mostly on TikTok, right? You're streaming every day for the most part?
I'll stream on both. I'll stream on TikTok and I'll stream on Twitch every now and then. I thought about getting into Rumble or stuff. There's more community stuff that I've been focused on lately. That's been kind of taking my time away, building up communities, a lot of Discord stuff. But yeah, I do the things. Fears to Fathom, Forest, Five Nights at Freddy's. I've probably played 150 horror games.
I do have a 40-second clip for you, Jaffe, if you want to see.
I would like to see it. Yeah.
Oh no.
Extreme.
And we should put the link down below after we're live, so you guys.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I like this.
Which game is this?
I like this. This would have been
Beast Within, maybe, or Beast
Demonologist.
Inside? Oh, okay, I've played that.
No. 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 No.
Yeah, man.
There's some more apropos with jump scares themselves, but I did not edit that one.
I don't like this.
People, you know,
don't
it's
like this.
really easy for people. Like you can tell when people are sort of hamming it up.
Yeah.
That feels authentic to me because that, I mean, you know, what do I know? But I mean, that's how I respond. Like, and I love that though. It's just such a great feeling when a game can scare you. We've been trying to get Bunny to play some shit, but she's like doesn't want to get involved with any.
She's
I've
a
got
little
a lot of
scaredy
anxiety.
cat. Yeah.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
scaredy cat. It's true. It's true. That's the
I don't
fun.
like games where I have to hide or where I'm being chased. Both of those. I get so much anxiety that it's not fun for me though, and it also lasts after the game. Like I'll be shaking for a while
Yeah.
Fun.
and jumping.
That's the
at
fun!
everything. I don't think that's.
I think we're gonna
fun.
send Bunny to Makami Manor for Halloween. We're gonna raise money to send her to Makami Manor.
But
See,
it
I think
confuses
I-
me.
You
What's
would go to
funny is I'm
Makami
better
Manor?
with stuff. Well, I'm better with stuff in person. Like I was raised like haunted trails was my family's thing. Like going to
Sure.
haunted stuff. We still
yeah.
do that every year, and I love that because I can use my actual body to fucking run if I need to.
Sure.
Like
sure.
I don't know. I feel like I have less
Um,
control in a video game. It gives me a lot of anxiety.
Bunny is a very confusing person for me about this whole like I'm scared of video games, right? Because she said multiple times, I live in the middle of the woods. And she's been like, yeah, there was just people living in the woods behind my house one day, and I found them behind some trees.
Well, yeah, with
Like, how is that not like?
totally
Yeah, like-
comfortable.
That
Totally
did scare
comfortable.
me. That
You're
was
like,
a horrible day for me.
I called
Yeah,
I called a buddy. We cleared him out.
All right, well, listen, I want to watch some of your stuff. I want to talk horror with you down the line if you're interested. I could talk horror all day, but here on Madhouse, we do have topics we're going to get into. We wanted to bring you on and kind of get your thoughts on 4 or 5 of these that we're going to go through tonight. We will get into AI. I don't know if you watched the Unreal presentation today about NPCs and AI. I'm very excited about that, but that's more for my gaming show. But it's pretty cool. But I want to show you a clip. I don't know how you feel about UAPs, UFOs. What is your take, Scorpicus, on that whole little thing?
I'm salivating at the prospect.
Of what?
Hope that these are things that are happening that aren't just us. Hope that, I mean, you know.
Okay, fair enough. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play, because if you followed this, and it's clear that you do, there has been a explosion of these kind of whistleblowers coming out, testifying in front of Congress, David Grush, Lou Elizondo, and these guys have been a little bit, maybe they're not so much really looking out for the public discourse as they are sort of people working for the United States government to disinformation agent work, right? But I saw this clip from the guy on the Y-Files on Joe Rogan. It's only 50 seconds. I want to play it. I just want to briefly talk about Bob Lazar because there have been 2 things that have hit recently that really make me feel out of all of these people, maybe he's the one we should be paying attention to. And I'll tell you guys, if you don't know Bob Lazar, in a couple of minutes, some of the things that he has claimed. But this is AJ from the Y-Files first talking about why he feels he is pretty credible.
Especially the ones that come out of Air Force. I'm skeptical about a lot of the whistleblowers, especially the ones that come out of Air Force intelligence and all that. But,
Me too. Even when I'm talking to them, I'm like,
Well, I mean, you know, I kind of have that needle of skepticism, and it starts with, do you have a background in intelligence? Yes.
Right.
Military intelligence,
Yeah.
Air Force intelligence.
Yeah.
Are you still on the payroll?
Right.
Did you get your information cleared from the Pentagon?
Yeah.
Do you have a book?
yeah.
And it all goes. Did you release some photos that were fake? I'm all over here. Then you go Bob Lazar. He has none of that stuff. Did the government target you? Did they try to discredit you?
Yeah.
You know, have you been ostracized? When Lazar came out, I think it was to George Knapp. He didn't say his name.
Right.
He didn't have any books. The first book, I think, was with him and Jeremy in 2019.
Right.
So Lazar, to me, is the most credible of the whistleblowers.
Right.
I'm skeptical about a lot of the...
There's that. And then this was a video from the other day. I don't remember if we showed it. And here's Bob Lazar right here. This guy basically goes through people. He's a body language expert. He testifies in court on if people are being truthful, blah, blah, blah. And so Bunny, we haven't shown this, have we? If we have, I'm only going to show a minute of it
No.
anyway. I mean, we may have talked about it, but
think I've seen it.
ultimately, though, here's one of the most popular parts of this like 20-minute video where Lazar says some pretty amazing stuff, and then listen to what this body language expert says.
Distressing or strange or weird, like what he's talking about, and show some fear there, because his fear was before what he was really about to say, or was in the midst of it. Oftentimes, if we're going to see fear from a lie, we see it afterward. So once again, really a fascinating interview.
Dealt with just a small photograph, a bust shot, essentially, just head, shoulders, and chest of an alien where the chest was cut open in a T fashion and one single organ was removed. The organ itself in the other picture was cut and vivisectioned, essentially. Showing the different chambers in there. This was totally unrelated to anything I was doing.
Now you see him shaking his head like this. Now sometimes that can mean that you're saying no as you're talking. We do see that sometimes, but it's different typically. Usually it will be if somebody asks a question and they're saying yes and doing this, then we'll know the way they feel is actually quite the opposite of what they're saying. Oftentimes people also shake their head for emphasis. This is, at least in this context, seems to be more emphasis than disagreeing with himself.
And allegedly what happened in 79, there was some sort of information exchange going on where there were actual live aliens at the facility. And at one particular point,
let's watch his mouth again right there.
There was some sort of information exchange going on where there were actual live aliens at the facility. And
you saw the mouth twitch again. After he said live aliens at the facility, there was the twitch of fear. And that's less common than people trying to soothe themselves after telling a lie. So once again, there was this undercurrent of fear when he's talking about this, which is
an exchange going on where there were actual live.
Right, so he goes through the whole thing, and he pretty much says at the end, I think he says this guy may be lying. In fact, let me just play his conclusion.
About it didn't seem like passive. Now that's a subtle thing that I look for during a lie. You can see them anxious. So there's subtle things like that. He didn't do anything like that. He remained remarkably calm throughout. There were a couple of points when he seemed anxious, but it was consistent with what he was talking about. It didn't seem like pacifying behaviors, and that's what we look for when people are lying. We look for them to pacify themselves. So let's talk a bit about the conclusions I've come to. If Bob Lazar is not telling the truth as he sees it, then he is probably the best liar that I have ever seen. John Wayne Gacy, someone I referred to earlier, a famous serial killer, he was a tremendously good liar, probably the best liar of all of those types, of all the serial killers from those days, but there were still things that would leak out. I've done videos on him where you can still see when he's lying. Sometimes he covers it up pretty well, but there's still emotional leakage. So is Bob Lazar somehow capable of suppressing emotions in ways that almost nobody else is? I suppose it's possible. I can't verify that what he's saying is true. And frankly, this is not something that I know much about. I don't know much about all the conspiracy claims and aliens and all of this stuff. This isn't an area that I explore very often, but I didn't identify any lies. There's also the alternative that I'm sure people...
So between this and Rogan and all, and the other thing about Lazar is he's not one of these guys that kind of traffics in really wild claims. Like he's not out there like Stephen Greer talking about, oh, even though I love this theory from Greer, oh, we're vessels. We're supposed to be vessels for aliens, or we're a soul farm, or you can communicate with these things with your mind. He's pretty much like, I worked for the government. I went to what was Area 51. I saw a bunch of reverse engineering happening of these ships that flew in ways that in 79, certainly then, still now doesn't seem physically possible. He was just very nuts and bolts about it. He's not speculating on what it all means. And apparently there are things he said in 79 that have come true that sounded like science fiction, like hand scanners or certain bases at Area 51, certain isotopes that aren't exactly how he described it, but close enough that people are like, how would this guy, if he was a liar in 79, know about all this stuff that would ultimately come to light X number of years, 20, 30, 40 years later? So I only bring it up because I wanted to get y'all's take on this. Like, I am a disappointed skeptic. I want to believe as well. and I see all this stuff and I don't know what's misinformation. I see them going in front of Congress and I get excited like, oh my God, we're going to have disclosure. And then nothing really fucking happens. And you go, oh, maybe these are disinformation agents. But this guy maybe seems to be the real deal. I don't know. What do you guys think?
My first thought is, if he's the real deal, why ain't they killed him yet?
They've done a lot to him. They have gone in and they have discredited him. They have removed a lot of information about his education to make it look like he's a liar. Apparently he went to MIT.
Kill him?
You're absolutely right, though. There are times that has happened. That may kill the whole conversation.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, that's the only thing that makes me think.
Because if he really knew this stuff and he was sharing it, why not just put a bullet in his head? We've done it for lesser offenses.
Like they would.
Okay.
Imagine like either the government is just completely inefficacious, or this is something that they are allowing to happen. So either they don't care, and also with the lying claims too, with him not lying, this could be back to psychosis, something he actually believes, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it happened.
Right.
You know.
But it's real to him.
But it's completely real to him. It could be something he's been telling himself for so long. This could also be trauma. And when we're talking about something where a guy comes out, claims 29 years, I guess this was 89 that he said this stuff happened.
79.
79? Okay. Something happened later on. There were some corollaries where like, this is something that resembles this thing that he was talking about. But we can go back through even science fiction, through like Isaac Asimov's like Foundation series, where there was like a lot of things happening and a lot of it ended up coming true. Science fiction's been doing that for forever. I mean, Star Trek with the iPhone. I mean, there's been a lot of instances where people have said stuff in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And that's just kind of where humans ended up mapping on later.
Sure, I get that. Although specifically the ones that people cite are, it says his claims such as the location of Area 51. Like that's kind of a hard thing to.
Yeah.
You might say, oh, there's a government base somewhere that studies aliens, and then now we call that Area 51. He was saying it's Area 51, and here's where it's located. The idea of this isotope element 115 and even hand scanner security, which again, that one might be more of a Star Trek tricorder kind of iPhone thing there. Some people in the chat are saying, and I haven't followed this part, apparently he was on a documentary or a live documentary where he was swatted by the government and they were taking a bunch of stuff out of his home. I don't have that data.
I watched a long form video with what they're talking about there, but I didn't see any of that actually happening with them taking stuff out. I heard claims that he made that they did these things.
Okay. Wax on Wax, if you're in the Discord, you are more than welcome to jump in real quick. We're gonna move on to another topic soon, but if you want to join the Discord and share what you know, it sounds like you know a lot about this. He says it was he took people out and showed them it was finger bone analysis. It measured your bone. I'm not sure what he's talking about. The guy's headphone color is bothering me, says Willie Farnsworth. Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
I have.
No,
this was recent. They're coming in.
You give Willie a fucking inch, and he'll take a fucking
take that mile. You take it.
Yeah, my God.
Take it from him.
You take that whole mile.
Absolutely, yeah. So, but I don't know. I mean, so what do you think fundamentally with all this stuff? What do you think is actually going on up there? Is there anything? Is it just drones and we're keeping quiet about it and this is disinformation? So I don't know, the fucking Russians, who clearly don't know how to defend against drones, by the way, if you've been following the news, what do you think is actually happening up there?
More than we know and less than we think. Are we still talking about aliens, or now we talking about Russia?
Well, we're talking about what are these things in the sky? Why are these people coming out and having an audience in front of Congress? Like, it's not like, oh, I made a documentary and it went on Amazon Prime and it's some little fringe thing where I claim aliens are actually manifestations of, old video games. This is people sitting in front of bipartisan commissions in Congress going, I have things to say, and this is important, and I need whistleblower protection. So either they're lying and they're, doing a psyops of misinformation on the American people for a reason. They're telling the truth. I mean, I don't know. That's what none of us know, really. Some of us do, but most of us don't. What do you think it is?
I mean, I can see there's been some altruistic people like Jon Stewart going in front of Congress being like, here's things that happened during 9/11, here's what needs to change, this should be bipartisan, why isn't this happening? And there's no ulterior motive you could even like inference from it. It doesn't make much sense because he's already there. He already has the fame.
Right.
But I think there's a flicker in my mind that just the simple fact that we have a David Jaffe here that knows this person's name, knows he was in front of Congress, and now is able to talk about it on a platform. I could see an umpteen amount of ways to monetize that, just peripherally. So when I see a possible money incentive,
if you're who?
If you're him,
if you're David Grush, for example, who went in front of Congress,
if either you could do that, or you and have a chance at some kind of monetary increase, or you could work at McDonald's in Texas for $7.25. I mean,
you got to be skeptical. I mean, it's smart. It's smart to be skeptical. That's fair.
That's why I'm a skeptic, but I hope.
I do too.
Like,
that's probably the best way to put it.
I want to point out real quick, K-Nubs, thank you for the $2 earlier, saying I'll match $5 to the next $2 dono. Solar Edge, thank you for $2, and then K-Nubs, thank you again for the $2, saying at Solar Edge, I got you $5.
Fuck you, K-Nubs. But Drew, thank you for putting John Dies at the end on the movie wheel. We appreciate it, buddy. Thanks so much. Didn't we watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil on this stream at some point?
On this channel, yes.
I think I was really fucking
Madhouse.
high or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, we watched it. Yeah, I was really high too. Now I don't remember why we watched it.
I liked it.
Okay.
I have a list of movies Tech hasn't seen yet, and it is baffling.
All of them.
He keeps it.
I've
Yeah,
been doing this for like 3 years.
Scorpion's
Like
my best friend. Just so we're all
literally,
on the same page.
No, that's
And he goes over like movies. So just like think of movies like, have you seen this Tech? No. He's like adding it to the fucking spreadsheet, and then,
I mean,
we're trying to knock them all out.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Hercules,
not a single one.
Wait,
Nope.
whoa. Which
Anchorman.
Wait a minute, Anchorman. Yes. Which Hercules? The Kevin, the
Kevin Sorbo, or
Dwayne
the
the Rock
series?
Johnson.
None of them.
I only know Hercules. I don't know the movie.
Hercules. Oh, my little Hercules.
Full Metal Jacket, Apocalypse Now, The Patriot.
That
nothing.
was not from
It's-
Full Metal Jacket. That, of course, was.
Yeah. I'm just.
Yeah. No, I got it. Listen to
weird creature.
this. Well, I hopefully he'll see a lot more shit. Listen to this. We talk about near-death experiences on the show a lot. I don't know why. I'm fascinated by them. And you know why? Because, again, like you, I'm a skeptic, but I want to believe. But I'm an agnostic on all this stuff.
Sure.
What are you, by the way? So you have this agoraphobia. You have this really big mental or a brain or ear issue that totally changes your life. Does that make somebody religious, less religious, or that hasn't affected any of your sort of philosophy about religion and what's happening in the world and whatnot?
I so wish I was religious. I wish I had the capability. I almost believe when something like that happens, it comes down to the big 5 personality traits that clinical psychologists use. You trait a certain acronyms OCEAN. Anyway. I think it depends on like the temperament of a person, the support system that they had in the first place. It's like, once you have nothing, where do you go? And how do you build up from there? And that can change depending on your financial level.
Meaning
on your
once
emotional
you have
support
nothing,
system.
you're more ripe to be pulled in by religion?
Of course.
Hope. Oh, I agree.
Hope is
I
dangerous.
agree. I'm just saying that's what you mean, though, just so I'm clear. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But in your case, you haven't ever turned to it because you've never been in that, like, even when the world was literally spinning and throwing you around metaphorically, there was no sense of, okay, God, I'm, there's no atheist in a foxhole. What the fuck is going on? Help me. None of that came up.
It just not really. I wasn't raised religious. I knew a lot of religious people. I've dated a lot of religious people. It just, in my head, there's just too many inconsistencies with too many things, and then it just doesn't. I don't see any. The utilitarianistic person in me doesn't, unless there's something that proves itself and shows some kind of fluency in being able to help my life. It doesn't make any sense. And of course, like everyone else, I've prayed once or twice, and then like, oh, that didn't work. Let me go do something that would actually give me A bang for buck, a return on investment.
And religion's tough because I'm not religious at all. But religion's tough because if you say I prayed for something, like it's such a, it's not a clever design system. It's only clever, and it's only clever in that it works so well on so many people. I guess it's clever in that sense. But the idea that you say I prayed for something and I was like, well, that didn't work. Let me go actually do something that will make it work or change this thing. A religious person would say, well, it does work, because where do you think the idea came from to go off and lift the weights to get strong? You prayed for a year and you never got any buffer. And then you said, fuck this, I'm going to go lift weights, and you got buffer. Well, that was God tapping you on the shoulder, right? I mean, that's the problem with it, is that there's no way to argue it with someone rationally.
Non-falsifiable things and like deontological like axioms. There's just nothing you can really do there unless you really put your faith in it. You have, in order for it to work, you have to believe it, and they can say, well, you must have believed it the entire time because something actually did work. If it didn't work, well, it did work in the first place. You think it worked, but it actually didn't work, and it's going to work if you do this. And I wasn't just praying for a specific outcome. I was hitting it with buckshot. I was praying for something different, because where I was at, to me, was hell. It couldn't possibly get worse. I mean, you could off yourself, I guess, but there's nothing worse than where that was at in my mind, because even physical pain was a distraction. So it was, I mean, I'm not sure if you ever had conversations with people that have had like severe reoccurring panic attacks. But I mean, if you're trying to figure out a methodology for yourself to get through that shit, you'll try biting your tongue. You'll try just anything that is different that might orient yourself towards something positive. And you can't know until you try everything.
And so prayer was one of those things you tried.
When I say I would have tried anything, I mean, I would have, it's like if you've ever had a really bad migraine, like some moments when it's crossing the pain threshold, you'd be like, how much money out of my bank account would I lose right now to not have this pain anymore? $100, half my account, all of it. When you feel like you're enduring torture, you will do some drastic things in the moment.
Well,
we are just human.
I mean, I do want to talk NDEs, but this leads me to so many other questions that fascinate me. Tech will let me know if the audience doesn't give a shit. But while I don't know what he's eating, but
corn dogs.
Did you ever consider as one of the options going, I'm out?
Oh yeah.
And what prevented that?
Fear.
Of what?
Fear of, because I mean, one of the big problems with agoraphobia is, what are you really afraid of when you go out there? You can be afraid of being literally afraid. You can be afraid of pain, but ultimately, and I think this is just from like an evolutionary biological sense, you're really afraid of death. If you're afraid of ending it, your consciousness no longer existing anymore, because to some people, subconsciously, that's paramount. And for me, I think really what it is I'm afraid of no longer being me, or losing my mind, or not existing anymore. And that's what it feels like is happening when I go out there. And the physiological effects just reinforce that. And now you're in
Okay. And so death would be that, at least like that, or not, or worse, amplified. Because it's
at the bottom. It's at the very, 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 very bottom.
Okay. So that's very convenient in a lot of ways, that actually you were afraid of it. Whereas a lot of people, because I was thinking about this, like, okay, this is totally, I'm just curious, but I don't know. I'm wondering
Hit me with a segue, Jaffe.
Well, it's not even a segue so much as it's okay. If the human body came with an off switch, right? But let's say it was one of those kind of iPhone off, you couldn't accidentally press it, right? I've been thinking about this.
Data.
Well, yeah,
Star Trek from TNG.
Yes, well, but that's still relatively easy to turn them off, right? I mean, if you had to hold your temple and then hold like your bottom of your spine and press for like 30 seconds and also slow your breathing, and you had to do it for like a minute, right? So it wouldn't be impossible to do.
Say a magic word.
Yeah, you had to you couldn't trip and accidentally do it. You would
clown porn.
Right. So obviously I'm like, okay, well, what would that, then you have the questions of course, why would we have that? Does that mean there's a God? Is there an evolutionary reason for it? Whatever. But I do wonder, like, if something like that was discovered, how would it affect society, right? Like, do you think in your worst days you would have done it, or do you think you still wouldn't have? It wasn't about ease of access to a way to turn off the game. It was more about what happens when the game gets turned off.
And by off, you don't mean some kind of like more sedentary.
I mean, you would
system.
die. You would be a dead person. Whatever happens to consciousness, then you would be dead.
And I can't turn this button back on.
No, you're dead. It's a suicide button.
Well, I have one. It's called a Taurus Judge.
What's
or
that?
a Glock 22.
It's
or
a
like,
Well, yeah, but a lot. I understand, but a lot of people though are afraid of the pain. They're afraid of not getting the shot right. They're afraid of their relatives, uncovering it, finding the body. But for you, that's no different though. The gun is no different than the suicide switch. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah. When you're there, you're there. It doesn't, you do whatever you have to not be feeling the way you're feeling anymore. It is unfortunate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think for me, I know for men and women it differs, like suicide attempts and methodologies of suicide differ greatly. And one of the reasons that I'm sure a lot of guys use firearms is there is an instantaneous, I'm going to do this and there's nothing I can do to come back from it. There's no choice. Your autonomy is taken from you.
That's
and you're
true.
making that choice
but if you
through
forget
autonomy.
to load the gun,
Oh, I told him my.
If you're
if you're an idiot,
oh, you did?
and you
Yeah, he knows
forget
about
to
it.
load the gun, but
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Anyways,
So how
by the way, stream, here we are, me again, the Donald Trump impersonator.
Please click on the share screen.
Yeah.
We have reached our goal for the movie wheel. Event Horizon by
Zeke,
Bigfoot.
Wait a minute, don't
Dogma.
spin it yet. Don't spin it yet. Hang on. Zeke says it sounds like Jaffe's trying to sell Scorpio on the concept. I'm not trying to sell him on the I'm just interested in this,
Thanks, Stick Solid.
concept.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug. I appreciate it.
All right, so Bigfoot, I'll put in Event Horizon, Dogma, Outbreak, Sinister. We got Sophie's Choice by Stick Solid. I hope that wins. Beavis and Butthead Do America by Rocker Matt, as well as Clerks 2 and Clerks 2. There's 2 more Clerks 2 waiting for the next wheel for Rocker Matt. Necro with Clerks 2, and John Dies at the End by Drew. All right, let's shuffle it up. Shuffle it up. 3, 2. Are you watching it, Jaffe?
Yeah, I want Matrix to win. Is
3,
Matrix on there?
2. No, Matrix was on the last one.
Ooh,
1.
Event Horizon. Anything but Sophie's Choice, please. No
Sophie's Choice. Sophie's Choice. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's right there.
Sweet. What do we got? All right.
Dogma.
Okay, so Dogma versus what?
The last one. You don't remember the last one?
I don't remember the last one. What was it?
I definitely remember the last one too. Hold on.
It was. The hell was
I'm
the
watching
last
it. I'm watching it spin.
Chat. What was the last one?
Spinning. I'm rewatching it. It was Kids in the Hall.
Okay, Brain Candy
yeah,
versus
Brain Candy.
Dogma.
Yeah.
Let's spin that, and then we'll go to the next wheel. Yeah, I'm not trying to get you to hurt yourself. I just think it's a very interesting conversation. So I hope you know that. And I bring it up only because we have been talking a lot this last week about near-death experiences. And one of the things that fascinates me is the commonality. I don't know if I believe there's anything after this. And certainly, and I don't want to retread old ground, but there was a really good Joe Rogan conversation with this reporter who had a near-death experience. He was agnostic. He's still agnostic. He knows a lot of it is easy to explain what happened to him scientifically. At the same time,
The wheels spinning?
I had an NDE at a very young age.
I want to hear about
So,
that. Okay, let's talk about that.
Oh!
All right, Kevin Smith gets on the wheel. The first movie of Pot and Popcorn, you couldn't ask for a better one, except maybe Clerks 2, is Dogma. Dogma. All right, Tech, and we are on the wheel for the second movie.
Dogma balls.
We're gonna be competing again, just like we did tonight. Tech says there's already some movies on the third wheel. Is that right, Tech?
Yeah, we have 2 more for Clerks 2.
All right, Clerks 2 is up. It might be a Kevin Smith film festival. All right. What are these, says Ter? There are movies coming up for the Pot and Popcorn double feature this Saturday. We're picking what they are. Okay, you had a near-death experience when you were young. How young were you?
I was about 28 seconds.
I don't know what that means anymore.
I was just born. I was like 8 weeks preemie.
Okay.
And my lungs were underdeveloped, and they popped, and I was dead for a while. And they managed to resuscitate me and then put me on a machine for my lungs, and they kept me there for a long time in the hospital.
Okay,
And
so you don't obviously have any recollection of anything. Did your parents?
I have an experience of a near-death experience by third parties.
What did they? Yeah. Did anything unusual happen by the third parties? They said, like, or no? It was just like
not particularly. But the doctor said he was almost sure I wasn't going to make it, but they were going to do whatever they could. It was apparently super bad. He called it glass lung syndrome or something like that.
Okay.
Super rough. But there's maybe some credence to that, because there might be a lot of times where you have a near-death experience and you don't know what happens. And by the way, I've seen X-Files, so kind of an expert on some of these things.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, look, I don't know. What I know is there are commonalities, and a lot of those you could still say, well, yeah, because the brain does this, that, and the other. This is a guy who was a veteran. He was hit by a van going about 70 miles an hour. He says he was undergoing vital checks before his operation. He started slurring his words, and he felt his body get warm. He saw himself out of his body being pushed into a different room. He could see doctors and nurses trying to revive him. An experience, he said, was akin to watching a movie. Again, we've heard a lot of these before. He talked to feeling peace during the incident and how he wasn't worried. I hear that a lot, that people are like, I don't want to come back. It's so, you feel like a god. Once he became conscious, he claimed he wasn't even aware he had an NDE. He says, I no longer fear death, though. The way I explain it to most people is when you say things in your head, you can hear it. Even you can make whatever voice you want to hear in your head. So something hears that. Something is aware of the voice. This is the language to parse here, but he says something is aware of the voice. So in your head right now, if you say, if I think to myself, Jaffe, maybe you should eat pizza later tonight, right? That's the voice. Something's aware. He says, it was like I became whatever it is that hears that voice, that silence, that pause, that thing we can't put our finger on, you know? But we know it's there. For that moment in time, I was there. I no longer feared death. I realized it wasn't real. Birth isn't real. None of this is real. They are concepts. They are concepts that make us feel good about an experience that we don't yet understand. And whether we're talking, you know, my experience about that I've had things like this through meditation, or whether we're talking these people's experience of sort of being above the human or the living experience, something resonates with me there. And I'm wondering about you guys. Like, do you hear that? Like a lot, one of the things you hear a lot when people die and come back is they say, this is the world that feels like the dream. The world that I went to is the one that feels authentic. And I don't know, because I haven't had a near-death experience, but that resonates with me for some reason. And I'm wondering, does it resonate with you guys?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because I've always felt like on mushrooms that's what everything's supposed to look like. Like, you can see everything more vivid, and the way they describe it to me sounds kind of like the way your vision is on mushrooms. Like, when I'm on mushrooms, I can take my glasses off and still see fine, and it's weird.
So you're like out of the experience of being bunny. You're just this other version of you, or this isness?
Yeah, I feel like you're just seeing everything the way you're. It's a whole different experience from like seeing things. Like, I don't know, colors look more vibrant, and everything looks sharper. And
do you still retain the idea of Bunny Button? Like, you know, you're you,
yeah.
Or because like
I know I'm me, but I feel more like myself on mushrooms. I've always thought that, and I feel like the way people describe NDEs, it kind of I've always felt like it feels similar to the way I feel on mushrooms.
Okay. All right. What about you guys? Anything? I mean, I know you don't do drugs, Scorpio. I know it's not Scorpio, but that's fun for me.
I used to.
Okay.
I just can't anymore.
But so, what do you meditate? Do you have a practice that sort of allows you to separate from the issue of just being you, or are you always kind of locked into your behind the eyes experience?
Well, I feel like as a defense mechanism to when the nerve damage was really, really bad, I depersonalized really hard as though you would when you have a bad experience on psychedelics. And every now and then I feel like I didn't really come back from that. It's been getting better and better and better. But even things like depth perception, when you're depersonalizing and your anxiety's so high, your depth perception kind of goes back and your peripherals kind of go wonky. It's a very similar feeling to the not to the agoraphobia, but to the nerve damage. Yeah, it's super, super interesting. So,
in tech, you don't really. You're a brain. You turn off. That's it. That's
Me?
That's still your standard operating procedure. Nothing is. There is no isness. There is no value in. There might be practical value in meditation, but there's no other outside. It's all an internal.
No, it's all
experience.
practical. It's like lowering your cortisol in the brain. You relax more. Like there's like clerical data you can get from like what meditation does to you, like biologically, and it's cool. I mean, I guess I practice a form of meditation under stress, right? I'll keep track of like timing, like a metronome with like a hand, like a finger, or just in my head, and it soothes, and that's it.
What do you think, though? I did think that clip, I don't know if you remember, but that one thing, and again, I'm not a big Joe Rogan fan. I think he has people on his show that I find interesting. I certainly don't align with him politically with a lot of things, but, you know, he hits a...
He's hot.
Okay. He hits a good solid from time to time. But he said the other day, though, he said when the guy was talking about his NDEs and saying, you know, you can put a guy in a centrifuge and you can simulate the exact same NDEs. And Rogan says, yeah, but aren't you basically almost killing the person? You're basically telling the brain that this person is about to die. You are doing all the things that the brain is primed for when it's about to die. So whether or not you open the door naturally or you do it in a lab, you are still revealing that the brain has a mechanism to either die, and that's our experience, or some kind of gateway that if you open the door, however you open it, the brain is prepared to send you to the next experience. But that doesn't sit with you. You're like, even though you're just like, we've just evolved to have cortisol and gamma released in our brain.
As soon as there's mysticism, he is...
Yeah, I don't care. The brain is just a very complicated organ that does a bunch of like shit with chemicals and makes you experience reality in different ways. And sometimes it can affect how you like perceive it and remember experiences. And that's essentially the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I can't
butterscotch, taffy, like Jaffe, toffee. That's spiritual. That is for sure. It sends you to like another realm.
I hate
That's
toffee.
impressive,
I don't
Tech.
do anything on this whole.
I hate toffee.
Look at you.
I think the but okay, so that's the pragmatic, do with it what you will. All right, now to AI. I went to a very esteemed college called USC. It really wasn't. Yeah, I guess it was, but it's not Oxford. It's just a school. Shut up. Anyway, the point is, I joke about it. I get to use their AI from time to time, like tonight. And I asked the AI, I says to the AI, hey, if I show you some pictures, if I show Bunny and Scorpio and Tech and me some images, and you give us a prompt, A or B, whatever the prompt is we want to choose, after 5 or 6 or 7 of those, can you tell us things about us? And it said yes. So here we go. And if the chat, you're more than welcome to play along, but if you actually want a reading, it'll cost you $10, but I'll show you what it is first, okay? So here we go. Let me get all this set up briefly. Tech and Bunny, why don't you chat with
Entertain?
your,
Yeah, is butterscotch liquor-based?
Entertain.
What is the scotch part of butterscotch?
Entertain.
It's Scotch tape, Tech.
Shut the fuck up.
How do you think it gets
I like
sticky?
this guy.
How do you think it gets sticky?
Oh, should they
It's
just
in the
tape
man.
it?
Duh.
Did you
Get
know
your shit
I went through the DHS training program with this one girl. She was like in her late 20s. And we were eating in like the mess hall, and she's like, "Oh, I don't eat peanut butter," because they were only serving peanut butter sandwiches that day. Like they ran out of whatever. I was like, "I don't eat peanut butter. Is there anything else?" And they're like, "Why don't you have like a nut allergy?" She's like, "No, it's just butter is fattening, and so I don't eat peanut butter." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, like there's butter in peanut butter." No, you're joking. You're joking.
I can answer the butterscotch one if you'd like, though.
Yeah, but she thought there was butter in peanut butter, Bunny.
That is wild.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. Where does scotch come from in butterscotch?
It's Scotch is a
Wax on
bastardization.
wax on wax. You're not being ignored, buddy. We're doing a show, and we will get to every super chat. We promise, bud. I see it. I saw it. Tech saw it. We will respond. But we're doing this right now, and we will absolutely get to it. We never ignore super chats. Thank you, buddy. All right, continue. Sorry, you guys.
What does the butter and butterscotch come from?
The butter or the scotch? The scotch comes from, it is a bastardization of scorch, which is how they burn the sugar. At least that's what it's supposed to be.
Oh.
You can Google that to figure out if I'm wrong or not, but I'm pretty sure scotch is supposed to be really scorch, and it changed. Etymologists are like, hey, here's where it came from. So, fun fact of the day.
Did you know that, Bunny?
And if you cover yourself in butterscotch, and if it's hot enough, you will also have an NDE.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. Let me get some of the super chats though. Necro, you got another one for Clerks Tech. Did you get that one?
Yeah.
David, Wax on Wax. Thank you, buddy. He says, David saved me. My home is a library of all he did. Then he wrote, I own every God of War and US plus others. Thank you, sir, for supporting our video game and playing it. I'm glad you like it. We appreciate it. Thanks, sir. He also says we need Stitch and Talk if you find Bob interested. What's Stitch and Talk, Wax on Wax? Bob Lazar? I'm not sure what that means. But thank you for that. Rocker Matt, thank you for the big 20. He says, I was going to do weird science, but I'm appalled that Tech hasn't experienced Clerk 2. And after Necro, I'm all for in. Someone else add it to the wheel. I love weird science. That's a great movie.
It's there.
Wax on Wax, you can pick a movie because you put in $5. Jaffe, besides Discord for the 100th time, how much to pick your brain on God of War when free? I've asked for months. I'll pay $100, 800 number. I will do a God of War QA. Tech, can you just put that on the list for the next 2 months somewhere this summer? We'll do it. All right. But thank you for that, Wax on Wax. And K-Nub says, here's $5 for brain candy. Put another one in for brain candy. Okay. All right, here we go. So I'm going to show you guys. Where is the text?
You're sharing like.
I know. I'm sharing ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I want to find the.
He knows.
I really need another monitor. I have three
I
monitors.
tried to show K-Nubs all my lollipops earlier, but I didn't realize we weren't up.
Oh, we're
Got 'em, K-Nubs.
Oh, no, let's do
Got
it.
'em.
Let's do it now, Bunny. You're on the screen.
What kind of lollipops you got, Bunny? Also, you wearing bottoms? This angle's like not.
Yeah,
It's not giving you
wearing
enough information.
overalls. Look
Oh,
how
okay.
cute my
They're
overalls
super
are.
cute. They're super
Aw.
cute.
They got
Do they
little
have
pockets in
strawberry pockets on the back?
Oh, got a heart.
Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah, Bunny's got a great outfit. I just assumed we already all appreciated it, and we're like, oh my god. I told her she
I
looks like
noticed.
strawberry
All my
shortcakes.
outfits are great.
I know
That's
they
like-
are. That's one of your many things. Show us your suckers, please.
Oh yeah, my suckers.
And I
got a
can't
lot
believe
more,
you
too,
tweeted that out about me today with those suckers, and put me on blast to the internet. Look,
You
lady,
put me on blast last night while eating my suckers.
You were eating that sucker. You were
Pause?
eating that. Look, oh, those are the best. Those are the ones that
Yeah,
come in
the
the
good
little.
ones.
They get stuck out of the
Yeah,
little.
they're the mini
cat-
versions
Oh,
of those.
and the bubble
Yeah.
gum ones are the best. The cotton candy ones.
Oh, the cotton
Oh.
candy. Yeah.
Bunny's the best, you guys. Bunny's the goddamn best. Okay, here we go. I'm going to give you. This is for Scorp, Bunny, Tech, and me. Okay, so I'm going to. Just got to figure out the right way to do this. Let me share my screen. screen. God, it's you know, shut up, Jaffe. No, you
Take the advantage of a restroom break while this is happening. It's the perfect segue.
Okay. Image number 1. Can you see it on your screen?
Baby shower jelly desserts for people who hate desserts, babies,
Okay.
and baby showers.
Do we have, is Scorpio, did he go to the bathroom or we're going to wait for
The
him?
peepees.
All right, let's wait for him. But let me give you the prompt while we're waiting. You're handed one of these drinks at a party. What do? Drink it without asking questions, pretend to sip and hide it under the table, ask what it is, why it's looking at you, or leave immediately and reevaluate your social circle. Bunny, you go first.
I'd probably ask what it is.
Okay. Ask what it is. Tech, what would you do? You want the list again?
I would, yeah. I would eat the baby though.
Drink it without asking, pretend to
Drink
sip
it.
and hide it. Okay, you would drink it.
Yeah.
I would. What is being shown? Oh, you guys can't even see it, can you? God damn it! All right. There
Still
you
looking
go.
at Bunny. I thought that was the.
All right, I fixed it. No. I'm sorry. We'll get it. We'll get it. Okay. I would drink it without question, pretend to sip and hide it, ask what it is, leave immediately. I would ask what it is. And then Scorpio.
I think I'm also going to have to ask what that is.
Okay. All right. It's being fed into the supercomputer. Let's go to the second one. Here is the
Assuming it's a block within my house.
That's funny.
Okay. This is the second one. You are shown. Let's do this one. Let's do. Okay, I will give you in a moment the prompt. But can you guys see the image on the screen or no?
Yeah.
No, you can't. God damn it, Jaffe. Okay, hang on. I got to figure this out, you guys. Hang on.
Just record Discord.
I am recording Discord, but I got to make Discord smaller because I got to put these on the same monitor. All right. That way, okay. Milk malfunction. My friend said her milk felt slimy. It expires on the 28th, but it's the 22nd. It is from the school cafeteria. The prompt for this is... One moment. Call over the lunch staff and make them smell it. Try flinging it onto someone else's tray as a joke. Take a picture, post it, and leave the building. Ignore it and just eat the other food in silence. Bunny, what would you do?
Well, if this is like when I was in school thing, I would have definitely flung it. So I'm going to go probably fling it.
Okay. Tech?
I would just ignore it and go to the next thing.
Okay.
Probably get a new
going
tray.
I would take a picture, post it, and then Scorpio, what would you do?
I'm going to the source. They've got to smell it.
Go to lunch staff. Okay. Here comes the next prompt in our insanely scientific... Wait. Why are you guys not seeing the right thing? Are you seeing the right thing? Tech, what's on YouTube right now?
On YouTube, it's your OBS. I don't know what you're doing. Put OBS to record this screen, then just share that on Discord.
That's what I'm trying to do. Okay.
All you have to do is just select what you're like sharing on the OBS scene as the Discord window.
No, I
Stop doing
know.
your entire like screen.
No, I know. Hang on.
Okay, then.
But it's...
Chappie knows what he's doing, Take.
No, he doesn't. That's why he hired me.
Well,
He just thinks you're cute on cam.
I never said
True.
Bunny.
How many lollipops have you fucking had already, Bunny? You're on a sugar high. I can tell.
I have eaten a lot of them today. So
Yeah, I can hear
Oh,
the sass, the sugar sass.
I got a sugar sass.
Got a sugar sass.
Is there a
Coming from
lollipop to
her-
sass ratio, or what's
Coming
the...
from her, sugar.
Go ahead, finish it.
All right, there we go. This should work now. Okay.
And he's gone.
Where'd he go?
Ivan.
He had to take a little nap.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Here's the image. All right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what is that?
Let me give you a prompt. It says, a uniquely terrifying elder doll I saw at an antique shop.
YouTube just sees your Google images or like your screenshots folder.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, YouTube is just
God
seeing your
damn
screenshots
it!
folder. We can skip this bit, Jaffe.
No,
It
it's
is awful.
No, it's not awful.
It kind of looks like the sequel to Annabelle. I don't know. There might
No,
be
wait a
something
minute.
here.
Wait a minute. YouTube sees the picture of the doll, right?
Now they do.
Now they
but,
do.
But it's because you're. Why don't you just go onto OBS, add a scene, make it the screen capture or the app capture, window
watch
capture
this.
of Discord?
Well, I have 3 monitors up, whore. My third monitor is where the pictures live. See over there? So as long as I put a picture over there, you guys should see it in real time, and the chat should see it when it comes up on YouTube, right?
If on OBS you stop showing your entire screen.
Okay,
right?
what I'm saying is this is the screen. Here's the
Yes.
prompt.
They see like 60% of a Discord call and 40% of your desktop background.
I don't care. You can see this, right?
This is bad. I love you though, Jaffe.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later. I got a lot I'm going on here. Here's image 3 prompt. Here we go. You
Yeah,
inherit the
dang.
doll from a distant relative and it's sitting on your guest bed when you get home. Do you burn it immediately, lock it in the closet, sleep in another room and pretend it's not real, try to make peace with it by talking to it gently? By the way, lock it in the closet and ignore its knocks is the whole thing. Bunny, do you burn it, lock it in the closet, sleep in another room, pretend it's not real, try to make peace with it?
Probably, I'm gonna be talking to it. Yeah.
Okay, make peace with it. Tech, what are you doing?
Truthfully, it's
gonna
knocking.
It will analyze your. You put it in the closet and you hear it knocking, but you ignore the knocks. So if you're gonna.
Oh, dude, if this is an object that knocks, dude, I'm burning it.
Okay, burn it. I would. Talk
The first
to
time you said it, I thought you said ignore its knockers, and I was like, oh.
All right, Scorpio, what do you got?
Gonna be tough. Oh, I'm burning it. Yeah. No. Especially if I know it's gonna knock. No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, here comes the next one. The next prompt.
Thank you, Drew Desidue, for $5. An OBS tutorial for the movie wheel.
I know how to use OBS so good. I am so good at OBS.
Then he says Final Destination 2 is his real answer.
Okay, here's the picture. I found a half of a chicken brain with the stem intact after finishing my bowl of congee, whatever that is. I can't stomach innards and organ meats. Okay, so the AI is going to analyze you by asking about that photograph, and it wants to know the following. Tara says that doll looked like a badly aged picture of Cher. It's probably true. Probably a little bit true. Okay, you finish a comforting bowl of soup and find a chicken brain staring back at you. How do you process this? Bunny, do you laugh it off, vomit immediately, Google brain parasite symptoms, or ignore it and keep eating?
With my mild obsession I have with parasites, definitely brain parasite.
Okay.
Search. Yeah.
Tech?
Probably just done eating. What was option 3? It was like, I'm not gonna continue eating. I do the one where it's like, oh, I just stop eating. Gross.
Oh my God, why can't they see it again?
I'm gonna nuke it with fire. I think burn it might just be my answer for the rest of them. I feel like that's where this is going.
No.
There's gonna be a lot of fire happening.
I'm really not trolling. Okay, Tech, what did you want to do? Sorry.
I wanted to stop this bit, but I mean, if we're gonna keep going,
We're gonna just shut up, whore. We're gonna at least do 5. We're gonna do one more after this one. Shut up, idiot.
I'm having fun, Jaffe.
Me too.
The audience has no idea what's happening on screen.
Just
but
tell us, what are you gonna do with it?
We're gonna try not to throw up and just stop eating.
Okay, stop eating.
K-Nubs, the $2 says, for every $5, I'll match 100. Choo choo.
No, he won't.
Thank you,
No,
K-Nubs.
he won't.
It gets funnier every time, and I don't know how.
He actually tries to pay his power bill that way too, though.
Is that a ghost?
Scorpio.
I know, there was a ghost. Did you...
Where?
Oh my God! Something else just fell. What is happening?
Oh shit! Let's go to the live camera.
Okay, that scared me.
What happened?
I saw it.
What do you mean you
Tracy,
saw it?
Tracy in the chat says,
something
Bunny,
yeeted her-
you should be expecting earthquakes soon.
Tech, stop. This is what do you mean? What happened, Scorpio?
Something yeeted the clown off of the bed, the couch.
Like, it threw her stuffed animal.
It
It was her
Yeah,
cat.
and then
Threw it?
my roll of paper towels just stopped.
Well, that just fell.
My roll
though.
of paper.
That one fell.
Okay, but then right after, my roll of paper towels fell off the table, and there's nothing over there. Stuff has been knocking over here a lot lately, and I wasn't going to say anything about it, but this has happened a lot lately, and I'm starting to get like, what's
Funny.
happening?
Tracy has said.
Stream. I'm coming prepared. Here we go.
Tracy said there's earthquakes expected in your area, Bunny. Be careful. Something's happening.
Oh,
Wait a minute,
Don't
you
say that to
guys.
me.
Did Tech? Will you roll that back?
On your live stream, on your you're on
you're
your
the
OBS.
producer.
I can't reach
on,
through
on
your monitor.
on YouTube, you can though.
Yes, let me
Tell me
here.
if it's worth showing. In the meantime, though, Scorpio,
I
what
have
do you
it-
want to do
I
with
have
this
it here.
brain? What do you want to do with this brain?
Nuke it from
Here.
orbit. Low orbit ion cannon.
Okay,
Nothing
so-
left. What?
Well, yeah, but you can laugh it off, vomit immediately, Google brain parasite symptoms, or keep eating and ignore it.
I'm vomiting.
Okay.
Vomiting. All right, make your Discord bigger. Click on the share screen. I will try my fucking darndest, but your goddamn presentations. All right, look. Bunny's
Wait.
here. In
Okay, we
the
have
bottom.
one more of these to do, but let's stop for a moment because we could have seen a ghost. So let's kill that. While you're bringing,
right.
okay, go to watch stream on text. Now we're watching text
Yes.
stream. Here we go.
So this is what your stream looks like right now because I don't know. You chose this.
I got you.
Now Bunny's down here. It's very small because the way you're presenting
I
it.
know.
The audience will not be able to see this.
Oh,
It falls and hit Bosco Brown.
Yeah, I just rolled off.
But then on the other side, behind the camera, her like other thing falls off the table, and she's like, "What the fuck is that?" She
There
goes
might be
and checks it
something
out.
there. There might be something there.
Yeah,
All I'm
there's
saying.
no paper towels.
I have holy water.
We'll have to go back and listen to the audio. All right, let's just wrap up this stupid fucking bit then. But let me tell you what the. Let me just fucking tell you
It was
what
bad.
the. You know what? It wasn't bad. It was poorly produced. That's a you problem.
On your screen.
Listen.
I can do OBS if you want. I'll run OBS.
Just wait. It's a very complicated thing I have going on here. Okay, just hang on. Okay. Do you want one more image to make sure the science works, or do you want to go with 4?
One more because I want this to be over as quickly as possible. So I men choose guns more often than not. Clerks 2, K-Nubs, thank you with $5. Clerks
You know, the thing about you
2
and your brokenness is that, hang on. Okay. Final one.
Yeah, Tech, do better.
Yeah, stop being so
Be-
bad, Tech.
Be better.
All of your excuses about your shitty childhood don't work here, Tech Protect. Better fucking
Okay.
calm your shit.
You goddamn right. Share my screen.
Share my
Entire
screen.
screen.
Go outside, Tech.
All right, here you
You
go.
go outside, Scorpius. How about you? How about you leave your house, huh?
No.
No.
Okay, here we go. Last prompt. It
Bitch.
says this person. Can you not see it? This person
No,
goes to the door every day inviting people to have a picnic with her. And if you
I'd
can't
beat her
see,
ass.
her face is weird and shit. Okay, so here's the prompt. Do you open the door and go with her, speak through the door and ask how she knows you, ignore her, pretend you're not home, call someone to come over and witness this with you? Bunny, what are you doing?
Bunny would beat her
I'm
up.
going with this lady.
You're going to go with her?
Yeah.
Okay. Tech, what are you doing?
I'm beating her up. I'm attacking the spirit.
I mean, I'll put that in there. It's not a choice, but you're going to break the science. Okay, me, I will...
Put the violent option.
I will speak through the door. What do you want to do, Scorpio?
I am avoiding. This is
You're gonna
a
ignore
picnic
her.
in Turkey. That sounds horrible.
All right, here we go. All right. Now, I will now tell you what the computer has spit out to tell you the following things. And it's a very smart computer, is my understanding. Okay. It will give you your psychological profile. Okay, based on these, give me the psych profile of each person.
Lily Farnsworth in the chat says, Jaffe makes all his bits super complicated.
Oh, shut up, Farnsworth.
Lily might be one of my favorite people in the chat. It always makes me laugh.
All right, here we go. And then I'm going to ask some very pointed questions to see how smart it is, but I won't tell you what they are yet. Bunny, your psychological profile. Bunny is open emotionally to the supernatural, disturbingly trusting in the face of unease, and eager to find meaning, even if it's inside a jelly fetus drink or whispered through a haunted doll. She leans into horror with a kind of empathic curiosity that makes her either the first to be possessed or the only one the entity spares. In a movie, you would be the one who talks to ghosts. Okay? Now I'm going to read you a psychological profile. I want you to tell me if this is Tech's, mine, or Scorpio's. Okay?
Okay.
This person is hyper aware and hyper defensive, always scanning for red flags, ready to either report a situation or pretend it doesn't exist. They feel things deeply but repress emotion with deadpan dismissal. They're the one that knows something's wrong first but says nothing until it is too late. In a horror movie, they would be the don't touch that person. Now, Tech, put up a poll, and let's see if the audience can guess. Was that Jaffe, Tech, or Scorpio's psychological profile?
I don't know if they're following, but I'll put the
I'll
poll
read
up.
it. I'll read it again. Why would they not be following? Pay attention, class.
It's so complicated.
Psychological profile. This is based on the AI and based on our responses to those images. Is this Tech's, mine, or Scorpio's? God damn it. The psychological profile. This person is hyper aware and hyper defensive, always scanning for red flags, ready to either report a situation or pretend it doesn't exist. They feel things deeply but repress emotion with deadpan dismissal. They're the one who knows something's wrong first but says nothing until it's too late. Is that Jaffe, Tech, or Scorpio?
Can I give my answer yet?
Bunny, who do you think it is?
Tech.
Okay. Tech, who do you think it is?
I think it's Tech.
Scorpio?
I'm going to say me.
You are correct. It is Scorpio, according to this.
That's true. I wouldn't wait for the last minute. I'd be beating someone's ass.
All right, now the
Well,
last...
yeah, he's like, all his choices are like fucking beat her into the ground,
Yeah.
elbows, illegal MMA moves, Muay Thai.
Now-
And mine are like,
Oh,
I don't want to do this.
Now guess this one now. This one's going to be obvious. Is this me or is it Tech? Okay? I like how Farnsworth says Celine Dion is my answer. Sure. Somebody knows you though, Scorpio. Fawn says that's definitely Scorpy. I don't know if that's from your community. I haven't seen Fawn, but maybe they're right. Listen to this one. This person is a silent... All I have to do is read the first sentence and it's obvious. This person is a silent pressure cooker of repression until things cross a specific line. They tolerate chaos to a point, but once the boundary is crossed, they shift to fight mode without warning. They don't investigate, they eliminate. They're the guy who snaps in the horror movie.
Okay, that one I
Sounds-
think's tech.
That sounds like Jaffe.
Do a poll. Let's go. Let's go.
Do another poll.
Oh, where? Another poll. It takes 5 seconds to write
Who
Jaffe
was
Tech.
that?
I wonder if Scorpio's watching me going, what is he doing with that thing? Like, I need to be polite, but you really don't, Scorpio. Not here.
I'm assuming that is smelling salts and you're insane.
Kind of. I
Close.
discovered this on Amazon. I didn't know it was a thing. Willie says, I'm getting tired, Jaffe. Can you simplify the stream? All right, so who do you think this is, Bunny? Tech or me?
I think it's tech.
And Scorpio, who do you think it is? Tech or me?
Oh, repressed. You had me at repressed rage.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
Yeah, that was yeah.
It couldn't be more tech. 61% says the chat. My psychological profile is Jaffe's the rational observer with a camera always half raised. He wants context, data, a backstory. He doesn't run, but he doesn't confront recklessly either. If a demon knocked, Jaffe would ask for its name before deciding to call 911 or write a blog post. In a horror movie, I would be the docu-vlogger skeptic. So there you go. So look,
Yeah.
I think this is pretty fascinating. Let me ask this. I'm going to ask which one of these people would most likely be agoraphobic. Okay? Which one would most likely be agoraphobic? Let's see. It says, oh, just so you know I'm not lying. Here it is. I don't lie.
Where'd Scorp go?
He's hiding. Scorpio, why? He ignored the door-knocking woman, vomit response to the chicken brain, burned the haunted doll, reported milk to authorities, shows a strong pattern of avoidance, retreat, and boundary reinforcement. Scorpio is not looking to engage, understand, or confront, just to not be involved. The classic agoraphobia energy. The world outside is unpredictable and unsafe. Control is maintained by not opening the door literally. Give me one more question. Let's see how smart this is. Let's see. Which person is most likely to work for Homeland Security, helping to secure the border? Is that an accurate description?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
The answer is,
I hope it's Bunny Button.
can you imagine?
That would be fun.
Tech, highly reactive to perceived threats, shuts down or avoids emotional engagement, draws hard boundaries, doesn't hesitate, doesn't negotiate, doesn't escalate slowly. But ask it another one. I'm telling you, I went.
Wait, did you read the honorable mention for
Yeah,
me on the agoraphobic one?
No. It says Tech is a runner-up for agoraphobia. His response is more hypervigilant and hostile, not withdrawn. He might build a fortress, but he's still leaving to gather supplies.
And you know who I really want protecting my borders and making sure that immigrants can come in and out is the bottle of repressed rage that could just blow up at any moment.
Right.
That's
Right.
it's just healthy. You know.
Give me something else. Okay, what could I? Which one of these?
Which one had a successful video game producing career?
I'll reframe it because it might know that.
Which one of these people?
He can't leave the house and do productive things with his
is
life.
most likely to be a success at
There you go.
designing video games? Now this one,
Or success as a creative might be the better.
Jaffe. He's observant, systems oriented, balanced curiosity and caution, emotionally detached enough to manage feedback, but curious enough to build narrative tension. Bunny's number 2. It has not gotten one of these wrong. Chat, give me a question.
Yeah.
Give me a question. K-Nubs, Willie says, chat is revolting, Jaffe. The goals are too complex. How is this complicated? This is amazing.
Ask which one would live in an RV in the woods.
Okay. Which one is most likely to live in an bunny button? If it says you, we
A
have
van
discovered.
down by the river.
Goddamn right. Oh, Scorpio. Okay.
Because the agoraphobia.
Yeah.
That makes
Avoids
sense.
confrontation, mystery, and people. Text the runner-up. So, who?
It's like when you have a
I broke
werewolf caged in on a full moon. You got to make sure it's away from people. You know,
who
the
is-
repressed rage is going to kill everything
Hey!
in the area.
Most likely to be best in bed is Bunny Button. Why? Emotionally intuitive, curious and fearless in intimate situations. Bunny followed a mysterious woman into the unknown. This suggests a level of openness to experience that translates directly to sexual adventurousness. Empathetic but unafraid. Text the runner-up. Less likely to shine in bed, Scorpio. Too avoidant. If there's uncertainty, weird vibe, or emotional risk, he might pretend to be asleep or just not feel like it tonight. He's a strong cuddler. Sketchy follow-through. Any other questions? What do we want?
Would like to say that I wasn't always agoraphobic, okay? The agoraphobia wasn't from a personality trait. It was purely from trauma.
Yeah, Scorpio,
So
the
just-
AI doesn't
Just
lie.
gonna
They don't
just
correlate.
gonna throw that out there.
The AI doesn't lie. Adam says, who's most likely to be a killer? According to the thing, it's Tech. Rapid escalation, high tolerance for horror until he snaps, low emotional visibility. Share this with your roommates, Tech. Burn it energy, ignore it impulse. Would 100% be the guy everyone describes afterwards as quiet, kind of intense. Scorpio's the runner-up. There we go. All right, well. All right.
Tech's creepy.
Tech's a super creepy dude. There you go. That is the AI. If you liked it, I know Tech was bothered by the way it was produced. Sorry.
Sorry.
If you would like for the AI to assess you with 3 images, I'm more than happy to do it for you. It'll cost you $10, and that's it. Now, where are we at, Tech? It's 8 o'clock. Are we wrapping the show? Are we going to the cellar? Are we spinning a wheel? What is happening?
We have not gotten to the cellar so far.
Let's see
We still have one more movie wheel to do. Is that right?
I don't.
Or two? Two.
2. We can do the other ones. We got time for the weekend, so.
Ask the chat, Jaffe. Do they want the cellar? Is it?
Do you guys want to go into the cellar? If we go into the cellar tonight, we'll turn on the phone calls. I don't know if Scorpio will stick around. If he wants to, that would be great. But we'd be okay.
stick.
He'll stick around. If you want to talk to Scorpio, talk to me, talk to anybody, you can call in on the Discord or you can call in on the your smartphone. If that's the case, I'll tell you what. In the next 15 minutes, we need to make $200. I'm going to get a Coke. And if you guys want to go an extra hour of showtime, that is what we will do with our new best friend. And he likes me more than Tech, Scorpio.
You're wearing my sweatshirt.
words.
You goddamn
You're
right.
wearing
I'm
my
I'm
sweatshirt.
stealing your friends. I'm stealing your sweatshirt. This is like single white female, but it's like,
Yeah, I hope you steal my
divorced
depression
fat
next.
guy.
But still white.
Very white.
All right, let's go. Look, you guys get the best goddamn show on the internet. Maybe Scorpio's show, maybe's a little better, but if it's not the best, it's the second best.
You shouldn't lie to these people.
You guys go over to
My
the
show is-
goddamn LCU and you guys fucking shit money to these people. Do they love you like your Papa Jaffe, your Auntie Bunny, your weirdo Uncle Tech Protect there? No.
Yeah, don't sit on his lap.
And it can't be Canty and Mish saving us every night. You guys put some fucking money in the goddamn till. And in the meantime, I have a question because apparently Keemstar was talking about us today. And I want to know about that, but I got to get a drink. Look at Bunny laughing. I have no idea what she's talking about. Tech knows about it. Bunny knows about it. I know nothing, but don't say it yet. I got to get a Coke. I'll be right back.
Oh, Willie said Tech would be a cousin at best. He said,
I
"Get
am
in
too
the
young."
backseat, Tech." No, you got the mustache to be an uncle, a creepy uncle at that.
The mustache should dust off your. I can't say that on the stream.
Yeah, don't say that.
Wait,
Can't
like,
say
are you
that.
saying it's? Are you saying it's dusty?
No, I dust.
Yeah.
I dust off other things. This
I
ride
would-
cleans your feet when you hop on. All right, that's all I'm saying.
I would beat
Change
the
your
Sonic
feet.
rings out of that Aztec. I'm just saying.
Oh,
The Mario coins. I would knock the Mario coins straight out.
Are you saying
Of
like
the
feet in your
Tech
face,
Protect.
Warren? I got so many questions.
Thank you, Knos with 99 cents. Appreciate it. Nemo, thank you with $2, 197 to go. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Necro with
dude.
$2 says, I see your $1 Knobs and raise you another. Oh, does someone want to double what Necro donated? That would be crazy. That would
There
be...
seems to be a bidding war.
Oh,
Oh, soundboard.
Choo
Doo, doo, doo.
is that the one? Is it that one? Bunny, who's your favorite porn star?
Tech, you can't say that about Jaffe. That's
Favorite
wild.
porn
Says all
star?
these things.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we at? What do we got?
Hold
2,
on, we're in
4,
conversation.
5.
Who's your favorite porn star, Bunny?
Missy Martinez.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
Scorp, who's your favorite porn star?
Gotta be the OG, the enthusiastic queen, Remy LaCroix.
Okay, Jaffe.
I don't really have favorite porn stars, but because I kind of get in, get out, get the job done, move on. But
Mine's based on personality. So.
I would say Sasha Grey, though. I mean, she doesn't do porn.
Okay.
She doesn't do porn
Okay,
anymore.
God
but
bless Sasha Grey.
yeah, I love Sasha Grey. No,
Drew with $5 says double it and give it to the next person. All right, does anyone want to double Drew's $5 with a $10 dono? I believe in you, chat.
Ooh.
I believe in you. Who here is gonna double it for the next guy? Because the guy after you has to do 20.
Nemo and Necro and Drew and Kate.
There's a shotgun at my feet.
We appreciate it very, very much. Talk to me about while we're waiting for the money to roll in. I want you to put your hand on the screen and I want you to feel. Oh, I know Sasha Grey is a Twitch streamer. Yeah, no, I know.
Doing it.
Oh, not you guys. I mean the people. Mish, come on, man.
Yeah, Mish with $50.
There we go.
Mish, thank you.
Yeah.
But we got you guys. We got to start helping these guys out. They can't.
$50
But
choo-choo
thank
train
you,
coming, guys. We
Mish.
got this. All right, who wants to double up Mishes and do a $100
Yeah,
dono?
who's doubling it?
Where do I?
Who's doubling it?
Where's
double it?
Where's
Tech
the
wants
cellar
to double
door?
it.
Where's the cellar door at?
We are 55, 57, 59, 61, $62 into the gold door, Jaffe.
Right. Now, Mish probably should get something on the wheel to spin that goddamn wheel, don't you think?
$50 gives you a direct win.
Well, hang on. How,
of,
how
of
much
the
is on
movie.
the? How much is on the door?
Fuck, what did I just say? All right, hold on. 55, 57, 59, 61, 50, 55, 57, 59, 61, 62.
Oh,
Someone
getting
keep track,
up there.
please. 62. Oh, the fingers!
Oh,
Bunny, can you do the fingers, Bunny?
They're here.
Whoa, Jaffe! Jaffe, can you do the fingers?
Little thumb work, little bit of that, like a little bit of thumb work, like a little bit.
Gavin and Games, Eric, is tomorrow with the State of Play and whatnot. Okay, so thank you for that, Mish, very, very much. Now, while we're waiting, hey, no, that's a lot of fucking money. Nathaniel, thank you, buddy. Best I can do
Thank
right
you,
now. Best in
Nathaniel.
show in town. Thank you, bud. Movie Jason X. What do we got on the wheel? Thank you so much, Nathan. So, Mish and Nathan and one other person, Drew.
Well, Mish gets 10 entries, which is the fourth and final wheel.
But how much
So-
do we have on the third wheel? Did we already spin the
So
third
right now
wheel?
with Nathan, the third wheel has let's see, it's Nathaniel.
I had a cat named
1, 2,
Nathaniel.
3, 4. We have 6. We have 4 more spots for wheel 3, and then Mish, you get one whole movie for wheel 4.
So yeah, pick, and then so Drew gets to pick a movie, and Nathaniel gets to pick a movie.
Yeah, Drew, do you want to put Final Destination 2 as your like double again?
Hey, Nemo's wants a wheel.
Okay, so Clerks 2 for Drew. I said spin the Clerks 2 wheel. Okay. It's Drew.
Drew wants Clerks.
I want to be a third wheel. Is that a movie, Nemo?
No, but he
Movie
wants
is
a
that?
movie. And Nathaniel wants Jason X.
I have Jason X.
And what does Mish want?
Nemo, let me know what you want. And Mish, let me know what you want for the movie wheels.
Don't say Sophie's Choice. I mean, I will fucking, oh my God. Okay, so tell me about what Keemstar said. What is happening?
Go ahead, Bunny. You got this.
You go.
No, you're the LCU lassie. You got it.
Well,
Woo,
yeah,
good
you were
one.
the
Mish
last
says
one there.
Inception.
yeah.
I'm taking credit for saying that word earlier.
I love it. Great movie. Thank you, Anna G. No worries, buddy. All right, what did Keemstar say, goddammit?
Okay, so Keem was talking about how he was saying how all these motherfuckers think that they know better than him, and he was like, and he actually called Tech Protect out by name. He didn't say us, Jaffe.
didn't say
So he might
Jaffe.
not have been talking about me.
Right.
Yeah, probably who would have said Joffrey or Joffrey.
Joffrey Ballet.
So he said that we thought that we knew better than him with doing a live, IRL stream, and how it went so bad. He said they didn't even have audio.
Okay. He's not wrong, but to be fair, his ass got pulled out of the fucking fire by Zeta Ray
By
or whatever.
Zeta Ray.
He got lucky. They wouldn't have solved their problem either. We didn't have that, Deus Ex Machina to come in at the very end and save our asses like they did.
Mm-hmm. But I do want to say, I want to point out,
But they
that a
did.
couple
They actually
days-
did broadcast. They did broadcast, and we struggled.
No. I was gonna say that a couple days before we went to California, or before I went, I remember saying, Zeta Ray said her that she had Starlink, so stuff don't work, and then no one.
Yeah.
Well,
we dropped the ball. We didn't reach out to Zeta Ray. But I
Well,
do remember
only
saying-
because we thought we were doing due diligence. We went to the hotel the day before.
Yeah.
We checked the internet. Tech upgraded his plan, and it still didn't work. And you know why the audio ended up not working? This is totally. If you guys remember, I came in and set up in the corner at first, and then I was like, I don't like the shot. I wanted to shoot through the door to see the bed, right?
Yeah.
And when I undid everything, when I plugged back in my little microphone box that goes to the PC, I had one of the cables plugged into the wrong thing. All it was the cable fit two things, and I just didn't even think, and I plugged it into the wrong thing.
Oh.
So dumb.
That's great.
Jaffe
It's
says
all
you
Jaffe's
created the
fault.
national favorite PS2 game of Wales, and all four of you are part of the best show on the Tubi. You goddamn right. Have some duck chill, so-and-so. Thank you, Smog Gaming. We appreciate that very fucking much. So, he's on the wheel. Al,
with,
what movie you want? And then where are we at with the Gold Door?
He put Jew on, which I don't know if that's okay for me to
Jew
say
on's
on
good.
YouTube. The
Jew on.
Curse.
Okay. Not Jew on.
Yeah, it's Jew on. Am I wrong? Am I saying this wrong? Jew on? There's a Quan, but it's like said Japanese like.
It's in
Please.
Spanish, so it makes sense.
We have one more wheel entry, and then we have that competing against Inception from Mish, who bought an entire wheel for himself.
Good for him.
Handsome.
And then where are we at with the cellar door?
What number do you have now?
It was 62, but we haven't included Smog.
Then add 15.
Smog, Nemo, and Nathaniel?
Yeah, so add 15. That's 72 plus 5 is 77. 77 towards the gold door!
Look, I will say, running a live thing is hard. And again, when we were still talking, and look, I will say this about Keemstar. I know it ended poorly. Scorpio, I don't know if you know Keemstar, know who he is or anything. Are you?
I'm familiar.
Okay. So it ended poorly, and But, you know, I really didn't have a bad relationship with the guy. Even after we shat the bed with our production, he did call and he said, I want you guys to do another one of these immediately. Because he's like, I want you guys to get back on it because I think it's good for us to do these kind of things and apply what you've learned. So, you know, there are some things I disagree with him on. I think he was absolutely wrong to be so upset over what ended up happening with our show. But you know, it's his business. He can do whatever he wants, of course. But I don't, you know, I thought you guys were going to say something that would make me go, oh, he's a son of a bitch. But, oh, that's, you know, he's not wrong.
No, it was just funny.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Did you hear that one of the ladies over there on Milkers went into a pet store and started barking at the cats behind the glass?
Why?
Yeah.
To like scare the cats.
Asshole.
They give vibes of doing that. That's not
She looks,
surprising to me at all.
she looks like she barks at her meal every day. Like they
Oh,
give it to her in a
feral.
little bowl, and she's
Yeah.
like, she looks gross. I don't like.
You are mean.
I was
Croxy.
By the way,
I'll
I
tell you
want to
raising
turn
them.
the phones on,
Yeah.
guys. You have to understand. Tech has finally spread open his pantyhose and said, I am okay taking phone calls. Phone calls are the best part of a live show like this.
Yeah.
Not the
No.
Discord. Discord's great, but, you know, you got to fucking deal with the fact that you had to, no. Anybody can call into a show. We are literally $133 away from being able to open up the cellar tonight and take your phone calls. Come on now. And Summer Game Fest, we got, I got some great things to show you tomorrow. We got State of Play tomorrow. We got video games coming out our butthole tomorrow on this channel. But tonight, we might even see Resident Evil 9 tomorrow. But tonight it's Madhouse, and tonight we're going into the cellar, hopefully. Anthony, just don't call. Just don't call. And
Yeah.
Gina's on my last nerve, too. I'm sorry. I tried to call her today. And I'm trying to reach out to her and go, are you okay? Do you need help? Because she's gone round the fucking bend with her tweets. And then Anthony today tweets out, now they're looking to get Vera Dark on because they want to do something where, I got to find you this tweet. It's the most, and it's like, and let me read. It's just like, what are you doing, Anthony? What
I'd
are you
love to see
doing,
these tweets.
Gina? I'll show you the tweets. It's the most ridiculous bullshit I think I've seen.
While you're pulling this up, Mish with $50 says Django Unchained. If there's any spots left for my favorite movie, Jaffe, how do you want to handle this? There's already 9 on Wheel 3.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna put Django on Wheel 3.
Yeah.
10 times?
No,
Yes.
no. Let me pitch it. Let me pitch it.
Yeah.
Django on Wheel 3 goes up against, what did he want? Inception.
Inception.
Then we can do one of two things. We can either then have Inception go up against Wheel 3, and then that winner goes up against Django. Or if we can get all the way to 200 in the next 10 minutes after I read you these tweets, I'll add a third movie.
Third movie.
We'll do Django. We'll do the Dogma, and then whatever wins here. I'll add a third movie in honor of Mish.
All right, well, add 50 to your 77.
But it needs to start at 12 California time.
Yeah, 127 so far for the Gold Door, then Jaffe.
No.
You guys haven't seen Train to Busan?
I have. It's
I have.
amazing. It's
I
amazing.
have.
Oh, good taste.
Yeah. Have you seen what's the one where it reminds me of Busan, but it's the guy goes in, he's living with his girlfriend, he goes down to the breakfast place, and the guy puts the guy's head in the fryer, and there are all these zombies.
I've seen that. I've seen that
It's
too.
not- I know it's not Smile, but it's a single title like that. And there's the guy on the subway with the umbrella that's chasing the girls and shit. What the
Yeah.
fuck is
What
that
is
thing
that?
called?
Is that the way? There was one super dark one that's been just like making the rounds, and I ended up watching it. Stupid dark, and the virus, it like all your inhibitions go away, and you do the darkest thing you can possibly
Yes.
imagine. Is that the one?
Yes, and
Okay, yeah.
it's Japanese. What the
yeah,
fuck is
yeah,
that called?
I'm
It's
gonna find
so
it.
good. let me put up what on the wheel. Oh, thank you again, Mish. 20 from Mish, and 50
147.
from Mish. 147.
Yeah, 147 now. Mish, we're gonna let you decide the third movie, Mish.
The Sadness. That's right.
The Sadness. Yeah.
Okay.
Nasty. I mean, that movie's dark.
Yeah,
it gets.
All right. So while we're waiting, and thank you, Mish, so much, buddy. So yeah, we'll do 3 movies if we get to 200. After we're done with this story, by the time we get done with this story, but they'll start at noon on Saturday, not what's the thing called too? Drive safe, Mish. Appreciate it, buddy. Listen to what Gina writes. Listen to what Gina writes. They really seem to think they made some episode here that's pretty amazing. That video that we showed the other day when Anthony and Gina made this video that makes absolutely no fucking sense. Okay, let me show you what they're saying.
Scorp knows who Anthony is, by the way.
Okay.
Yep.
She says, let me just go back here. Okay. First off, she's talking about all this Hamas stuff. Like, I don't know why she is lumping me in to any of this. Like, I've never supported Hamas, ever. My last name is Jaffe. She's as far away from being a Jew as you can get. I don't know why she's trying to tell me what the fuck is the proper response to Israel. I'm pro-Palestine. I'm pro-Israel. I'm anti-Netanyahu. I'm anti-Hamas. What happened on October 7th is tragic and horrible and just disgusting. And what happened in response was way too big of a response, but ultimately may be the right response. But it still is horrible. And I think we should be better than having to respond that way. And Gina acts like, she says, I'd argue a true Jew wouldn't trust anyone. Ha ha. Your feelings might be hurt, but I know my friends stayed silent out of fear of backlash. If you're looking to point fingers, point them at those who hide behind false moral superiority while claiming to be journalists. These are the ones enabling harm through their hypocrisy. Some of them, like Alyssa Mercante, even align themselves with Hamas, which I'm pretty sure she doesn't. I'm pretty sure she says, pro-Palestine, Israel's done some horrible things, October 7th is terrible, and Hamas is a terrorist organization. But again, I'm not Alyssa. She says, and people like David Jaffe, too afraid to call them out. Me? The fuck am I afraid of? I don't give a fuck. I said, Gina, stop spreading bullshit. I've made my position on the whole thing clear, and you are misrepresenting it. Please leave me out of this shit. She says, I wasn't asking for your take. I was exemplifying, I'm not sure if she's using that word right, why more people like you don't stand up for the Jewish people. So thank you for proving my point. What point, Gina? I assure you, I've watched your 8-minute video, and I couldn't tell what your point was then. She says, we give up on you, Jaffe. At least it was fun to make the episode. She says, I appreciate you calling our thing a performance art. There was an educational element involved. No, there wasn't. The Alyssa harassment will continue to happen if women in the games business don't smarten up, so that's why it's more educational than performance. It's too complex, though, so oh well, next one. You and Anthony spent hours making a video that doesn't make any fucking sense. You could show that to the world's smartest artificial intelligence computer, and it still would go, I have no idea what the fuck that video was about. Don't kid yourself, Gina. You didn't make something smart and educational, and the dummies in the world just don't get it. You edited during a very bad fever dream where you were high as a goddamn kite on NyQuil and scissor, and you woke up and you hit post and you didn't even realize it made no sense.
Heck, have I seen this video before?
Why are you guys making fun of my rap lingo? Scissorp is what we called it back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
I'll show you the video afterwards, Scorp. It's a fucking.
There was one that I remember seeing that was like a 7-minute long video, and it was just fucking nutty. The editing at the start, it had the chick.
Maybe.
Yes, it made no sense. It made no sense. All right, look, are we
Scissor.
doing the seller, you guys? We need $53. Now, look,
Wow.
here's what I want you to do, Tech. Go over to the LCU,
Okay.
and I want you to just see who's live, and I want
right.
you to see how much money they have made at the time. Now, I am not e-begging you. If you don't want to go into the cellar, we're not going to go into the cellar. It's capitalist society. I get it. I appreciate it. If you don't have the money, but you wish you did, I get it. I don't want you to spend money you don't have. But let's just be clear. We are living in a world where these jackasses over on the LCU, I don't know what are they doing right now, Tech. What are they doing?
It's a rewind.
Somebody's
Talking
probably
about-
yelling.
Yeah, talking about yelling at each other.
They're just yelling. Oh, hang on. Look at how you talk about Gina, says Anthony. Like when you said Vera Dark was only popular because she's hot. Jealous fuck. Vera Dark got very popular primarily on the back of her looks. She did. I don't shame her for that. But when her and I tried to have a discourse about Donald Trump and how he has been influenced by Vince McMahon and Linda McMahon and kayfabe as it relates to politics, of which many books have been written, she wasn't bright enough to engage in that conversation. So I assumed that the vast majority of her audience shows up because she's a decent-looking young woman who games. Now, turns out she does game a lot, and I walked that back and said she is a real game streamer, and my hat's off to her for that. But I'm not going to act like a lot of her appeal, at least initially, isn't her looks. Just like a lot of my appeal, at least initially, isn't the
Isn't
shit
your
I
looks.
worked on
It's
in the
just
past.
looks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your looks as
Oh.
well.
But every
Oh.
streamer or every entertainer comes to the table with pre-sold shit, whether it's Sydney Sweeney and her boobs. That doesn't mean she's not a good actress. That doesn't mean she's not creative. But that's what got a lot of people's attention. And if you act like that is somehow not happening, and even acknowledging it is a suggestion of misogyny or sexism, you're just got your goddamn head in a hole, is what I would say. All right. All right, so I guess let's spin for the movie. So what were we going to do? Were we doing 3 movies or The Cellar or what's happening? And what's happening on Rewind? How are they made? Let's watch Rewind for 10 seconds. I just want to see. I just want to see how they're making all their money over there.
Okay.
Well, Mish,
Scorpio, I don't understand it. What are we doing wrong, Scorpio? We have a wonderful
think you're doing
audience.
anything wrong.
We have
I
a
think it's
wonderful
just-
audience.
yeah.
They're generous. They're kind. They're
Yep.
attentive. They
Yep.
show up. But I watch these streams. You must do the same. You're doing really well on TikTok, but you must watch some of these people and go, how the fuck are people donating money to these jackasses? What are we not providing? Scorpio, educate us. Action.
The fruit, I think, is just you need to get some giraffes because the fruit is just hanging way too high. Unfortunately, some of the really lowbrow, super lowest common denominator filth that attracts people.
I stuck an ice cube up my butthole.
He did stick an ice cube up his
And
butt.
it was still too high of a hanging fruit. You're gonna need to stick 6 or 7 back to back.
Yeah.
Make them shape.
Yeah. Oh, I got a proposition.
Shoot them out like a howitzer. Go for it.
I had an idea the other day that for every night that you're late coming in to the Madhouse studio, you got to put an ice cube in your butt. So that way, the people in the chat that are mad that you're late, they
Yeah.
get something out of it. And you get ice cube in your butt.
How about
And
they
you get something out
win.
of you.
How about they get the fact that the reason I was late is because I was preparing the show.
I know they don't care about
It
how
doesn't-
much work. Like you put in the most work, Jaffe, and I think you are the greatest person ever. But the
Preach it,
chat,
sister.
they just see that you're late and they're like, grrr.
Fine.
And I say, put an ice cube in your butt.
Fine.
I just saw a golden
I
opportunity.
will
That's
put an
all.
ice cube in my butthole a second time if we get $250 in the next 10 minutes. I will put an ice cube up my anus.
And if you do a whiskey cube, you can knock out the drunk stream at
I
the
don't-
same time.
I don't have whiskey though.
Money, me. Money me now.
I'm going to set
More than ever.
two,
Money me.
$250. $250. I will put it. I mean, because
That's a steal.
it's a steal. Because the thing is, people go, I thought you said you wouldn't humiliate yourself, Jaffe.
He likes it.
I just think it's funny, but like I won't do
Rise.
shit that tech will do. Like I'm not gonna, you know, show tipples and shit. It's just stupid. But an ice cube
What
up your
about
butt?
the pepper inhale? I saw it. He did it. What would it take
Yeah.
for a Jaffe full pepper inhale? I'm talking about like what you do with that weird like nose crack thing.
Yeah.
Where you just like that. What would it take for you to eat one
See,
and maybe a little nostril action?
I think it would be really problematic for me because I would get heartburn. It's like I don't want to make myself uncomfortable. I like the ice cube is funny. It's silly.
He likes it.
Feels good.
It doesn't really
Yeah,
feel good.
Feels good a little bit.
It doesn't feel like much of anything except when you sit down. And then you're like, this is very uncomfortable at the moment. But it melts and you're good.
You're around friends, Jaffe.
But the problem, like I'll do mushrooms. I don't have them, but when tech comes out, I'll do mushrooms. I've never done mushrooms
In your
before.
butt?
Wherever I need
Butt
to put them.
shrimps?
Wherever I need to put them. But the ghost pepper, I think, would just make me not feel very good. And I'm not looking to be sick. Lovejoy, thank you so much for the laughing pear. We're closing in on a killer, fellas. Let's go. Seriously.
Y'all, ice cube in his butt.
In the butthole.
$250.
How about one
That's
in your
not
butthole
bad.
too?
Me? I don't have a ice machine in my RV. Sorry.
You don't have any ice in your fridge or freezer?
Mm-mm.
You have anything you can
Also,
stick
don't
up?
have a butthole.
Oh, wait.
Oh, well. All right, well. Oh, no. Anthony, shut up, you idiot. He says gloves are off. That only matters if anyone gives a shit about fighting you, Anthony. Nobody cares. He says, I'm calling in, you old-ass fucker. Okay, Prince. Once we make enough money to open the cellar, you can call in. Until then, sit the fuck down, bitch. Like I'm supposed to be afraid.
I'd love to know which horror movie would you guys like to have a sequel? Say you had your 50 million and you're like, churn this fucker out.
Well,
Make it 300.
If I said churn this fucker out, it would suggest I don't care, right? So, like, I just saw Martyrs for the first time ever last weekend or 2 weekends ago.
Trash movie.
Oh, you're an idiot. That movie was amazing. And I hear
Boring as fuck.
Here's what I would say. I would go to Rob Zombie, and I would say I hear the sequel to the Devil's Rejects, which I have not seen the third one, 3 into Hell or whatever, is not very good. And so here's 50 million. Please go make a proper sequel to that. Or I would, if I could get the rights to this or the freedom for this, I would say, hey, here's 50 million. I would go to like a really great like I would go to, I don't know, either A24 style hereditary horror or Eli Roth torture porn.
Yeah.
And I would go and say, you can now make a Star Wars movie horror. Here's 50 million. It's got to be grindy. It's got to be low budget because I only got 50 million, but Lucasfilm is letting us do it. Go. I would love to see like either brutal or psychological Star Wars horror. I think would be great.
That would actually be
How
really
am I
good
supposed to get
because
off to that?
You, Bunny.
You don't even have an asshole, Bunny. Shut
You
up.
used to, you don't have an asshole. First off, second, where's your fucking emu friend? Where's that guy? Where's the little puppet?
Wow,
Ernest.
Yeah, where's Ernest?
Probably drunk and saying slurs somewhere. You don't want him.
wait, I thought the female orgasm was a myth.
It is. She's lying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
And
thought.
she doesn't have a butthole.
I'm being gaslit.
By the
Tech.
way,
Bunny's
Tech,
gaslighting
we
me.
made $15 off Lovejoy. So tell me where to put the cellar door there.
Don't phrase it like that. We made $15 off of Lovejoy. Say, Lovejoy gave us $15.
I already talked about Lovejoy and his delightful laughing pear. But you're autistic.
Thank you, Lovejoy.
You're autistic when it comes to numbers. So I was
Also,
just trying to make it clear what needs to be
The
added.
goddamn devil
You clearly care. You talk about me all the time, respond to our tweets like a 5-year-old.
Have you seen Anthony's Twitter?
No.
It's him like liking and sharing like political posts for like the left. And then it's like occasionally he'll like respond to a porn star and OnlyFans girl who's like, let me know. Yeah, it's like let me know what your favorite color is. And then he'll be like, it's obviously green. You can check my profile. I've said it a number of times, but it's not like you'll ever respond to me. And then he hits comment. And then he just like, yeah, dude, it's just, and a girl will be like, what's your favorite vacation getaway? And he's like, back when I had money, it was going to the Bahamas, but I can't do that much more nowadays. Comment. Like, well, why are you talking to these fucking women online like they're going to have a conversation with you? And then you also like fucking sneak, what's the term? Like passive aggressive sneak diss them. Like, it's not like you'll respond to me in the first place.
Yeah, I've had it with you. I've had it with you, Anthony. For the longest time, I kind of figured that you were a decent guy and you were just struggling with some shit. Now you've just.
All right, Scorp. This last comment, he says, Tech is straight up lying. Ask Jaffe's daughter. I talk to her all the time.
No, you
Ted?
Go ask Sarah.
Wait, Ket's not even in the Thunderdome like that.
Yeah.
Go ask Anthony. Go ask Sarah.
She'll make a post. She'll make a post in like the general chat, and then he'll be like, "Oh, that's really interesting. How do you feel about like this thing and this thing with politics?" And then she'll be like, yeah, it's a thing." And then he's like, "Wow, we had such a great conversation with."
But
getting Ket to engage with something she doesn't care about is going to be next to impossible. There's too much tism. There's a wall of tism.
My baby's tism. I love her. But look, let's be clear. A couple of things. First off, Darth Nugget says, Anthony, the only reason they talk about you is you're a parasocial stalker. Yeah, the media talked about O.J. Simpson and Osama bin Laden all the time. It didn't mean they wanted to go have dinner with him. He was out of his fucking mind. Is A. B. Willie says this needs to be a 2-hour show. I can't take it anymore. Dude, we make it clear. The main show, we talked about agoraphobia. We talked about near-death experiences. We talked about artificial intelligence that did a pretty fucking good job figuring out which one of these hosts was which. We did a whole segment. If I go back over to my notes, we did a whole segment tonight on some other fucking thing. Hang on. We did a whole segment. Oh, I just killed my screen. God damn it. And I killed the chat too. Hang on. The point is we did a lot and then the show ends and we just shoot the shit for a little bit. Now, if you would like me to make that demarcation better, which I can do, I can appreciate that. If you're like, I need to know when I can bail because the proper content is over, I can appreciate sort of the need for a little bit more clarity.
Willie says, I cannot take it means that he needs to go to bed. It's late. And he doesn't want to miss out on content.
Or maybe he can't take it because he also does not have a butthole.
Yeah.
True.
That's
you
true.
got a butthole, pal? You got a butthole?
How's it doing?
All right. Well, let's look. Here's the deal. Fellas, we would absolutely love to open the cellar and take phone calls. But if that's not happening, I appreciate that. Fellas, we would absolutely what I will say is let's at least see where we are with the movie situation, Tech.
Well, so Mish wants Django Unchained. That's his choice. He's donated so far like $120 for movies, and he said just do Django Unchained. So we're for sure doing that. The Last Wheel
has what on
oh, Lovejoy, if you're in chat, you can finish the wheel for me. Just tell me what movie you want, Lovejoy.
Yeah. Because that's going to be competing with Inception. That's right. So it'll be Django. It'll be Dogma, and then it will be The Wheel with a lot of titles versus Mish's earlier $50 Inception.
Yeah, did Dogma be
the candy thing? Yeah.
Candy one, yeah. So it's Dogma, and then we have Wheel 3 and 4, which is going to be, either Clerks 2, Brain Candy, Final Destination, Jason X, Pulp Fiction, or Ju-on the Curse.
Okay. All right.
We have one more spot for that wheel. One $5 fucking donation will get your name in there. I don't think that love joy is here.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, Anthony, just go somewhere else, man. I can't handle it. You're writing to Asmongold, Vera Dark. What do you want? Do you want to be a streamer? Do you want to be a YouTuber? Do you want people to know who you are? You're not going to build that off my back. I mean, you can try, but I would say aim higher, because my channel's pretty nascent, pal. That's A. B, there's a good chance that people that like my shit are not going to like what you're doing, and certainly what you and Gina are doing together. So maybe find someone else that vibes with whatever madness you're trying to sell to people, and build off that shit. But we're done, because you've been a little bitch. And I'm bothered that Gina, but she's been a friend of mine for a long time, and so I'm willing to give her more of a benefit of the doubt before I say, okay, well, this relationship's over. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. I know Asmongold doesn't care. Vera Dart doesn't care. None of Keemstar, none of these people care. It's delusions of grandeur coming out the butthole from these two. And I'm done with it, man. It's weird. I won't break. I love Gina. Gina's been in my life for a very long time. She's a sweet lady. I have a lot of respect for her. She's really smart. But I think I don't know what she's throwing her lot in with Anthony at this point. But you know, whatever. She's a grown woman. She do whatever the fuck she wants to do. Shut up, Anthony. Get the fuck out of here. Goodbye, Anthony. I'll tell you what, Anthony, here's how you can stay. Donate $100 to open the cellar, and then we'll let you call in on the cellar. How about that?
Rob deleted him.
Oh.
Well, if you want to put $100 in, I will sell you the right to pay attention to you on a phone call. Anthony, $100?
I would love to hear that.
No, he's not going to do it.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it too, but he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it.
Wait, so are you saying that he's scared, Jaffe?
I think he's probably afraid to do it because he knows I will tear him apart. Not as metaphorically speaking. I wish nothing but the best for every human, and I do think Anthony, at a fundamental level, is struggling with some shit like we all are. But he's struggling in a way that I feel is, he's not handling it as well as I would like to think he could and should. But metaphorically, yeah, I think he's afraid that absolutely he would be revealed to be the charlatan that he is. But in my opinion. And again, this idea of calling me a grifter, I'm sorry, but you don't understand what the word grifter means. This is this generation that thinks everything is clickbait, even if it's simply marketing. They think charging for your services, like people like you would go into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, and when the bill comes, you would yell at the server and call them a grifter because they're charging you for the steak you just ate. You don't know what a grifter is, Anthony. And thus, that's not a grifter. That's a business.
Yeah.
So, he says straight up that he doesn't have to follow your gaming industry niceness. I
don't even know what that means.
Is he alluding that you're just a nice person and he doesn't have to be that nice? I mean, it seems like he's losing a moral high ground if he says that.
I honestly do not know what he is talking about. Yes, Anthony, you are literally charging $20 for seeing a 5-second horror clip behind a door. Yes, that's not grifting. You may think
aware of what they're getting.
Yes, you may think there's no value to that product that we sold, which was, if you want to see how you will die, pay $20, open the door, and this is how you will be murdered. And we show a clip of how somebody died in a movie. But we don't sit there and say, open the door and I'll show you a 20-minute lecture about curing cancer, and then we show them a horror clip. That's a grifter, Anthony. Maybe you should not be donating tonight. Maybe what you should do is spend your money on a dictionary so you could actually understand how words work. Anna G, we love you with all our heart and soul. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat, Miss Anna, and the little hearts. We appreciate it. We love you, pal. Jay Styles, good to see you. He says, damn, I've been MIA for a minute, missed a lot. The Prince guy is a bad guy now. I think the Prince guy is a sad guy, is what I think. I think he's sad, he's confused, he's angry, in my opinion, and he's lashing out. And I think that is unfortunate because he is a human and he is a fundamentally decent guy. He's a dad, but I think he has gotten sort of pulled into something that has really kind of thrown him for a loop right now. And I don't think it's healthy for him at all.
You mind if I do the next one? Pompous 2.0. Anthony, pay the 100 and defend yourself. That seems like a call out to me.
It is a call out. It is a call out.
It seems like a call out. Seems a little, it ain't terse. You know?
Right. Well, listen, K-Nub says, but he's still a good friend to me and deep down a beautiful person at heart. This is why I'm not going to just tear the guy apart in that way, because I do fundamentally think he's a sweet, normal, nice human. I just think he's kind of fucked up right now. And people go through that. We smell.
Welcome back.
People go through that.
Smell.
Thank you, Anna G, for the 4 hearts.
Anna G, please give me a name of a movie you want us to put on the wheel. Anna G,
Yeah.
please.
And thank
Anna
you,
G.
Pompish. Thank you so much for that. We do appreciate it, buddy. So what is the next horror game, Scorpio, you're going to be streaming?
Ooh, that's a fantastic question. I have a couple saved up. The Silent Hill 2 remaster.
You haven't played that yet?
Fantastic. I played a bit of it.
Oh,
so
so
Silent Hill 2
good.
is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yes.
So damn good. And even I think when they remastered it previously for the PS3, still was amazing. Some people didn't like it because of the artifact issues and the graphics issues. As it got more defined, you could see how much there really wasn't there, and that kind of tilted some people. But I think it's always better to have that.
Yeah, I will tell you though that the remake, which I rarely finish games, I finished the fuck out of that game. I did a deep dive with other developers about the messaging behind it. I talked to the developers. So good, so fucking good. Little long, goes longer than it should, but
Yeah.
That's what you get these days, unfortunately. But okay. Anna G says add the first Silent Hill movie. That's great. I've not seen that
All right, Jaffe, we're spinning the wheel.
All right, here we go. Hang on. So this is going head to head against Django, or just tell us what's happening. We're confused now.
All right, so this is wheel 3. We filled it up. We have Clerks 2 by Rocker Matt Twice, Brain Candy from K-Nubs, Final Destination 2 by Drew, Clerks 2 from K-Nubs, Jason X by Nathaniel, Clerks 2 by Drew, Pulp Fiction from Nemo, Ju-On by Smog, and Silent Hill First Movie by Anna G.
So
This will
what-
compete
yeah.
directly with Inception, which is an
Okay.
entire wheel bought by Mish.
Okay,
and then
so it's
the
going to
third movie
be
is Django.
Dogma, Django, and this versus Inception,
Yep.
starting at noon. Okay, spin it.
Here we go. K-Nubs, Brain Candy.
So now Brain Candy versus Inception?
Yeah, so now it's Brain Candy versus Inception.
Anthony was banned from the server. He was not banned from here. No.
All right, I'm going to shuffle it a number of times, okay? No preference. All right, are we watching Brain Candy or Inception?
I
it's
assure
Brain
you it's
Candy.
not rigged, Rocker Matt, because I don't want to fucking see Brain Candy.
There.
Boom!
Some more Leo.
And now, Django Unchained.
All right, so we got 3 movies. We have 3 movies coming up
What could
this
this be?
Saturday. Django, Inception,
And Dogma.
And Dogma. Exciting. That will start at noon. I will have the pot ready. I will have the popcorn ready. And hopefully you'll join us. K-Nubs is trying to pay to get you on. He's not an idiot, Anthony. He knows how to donate money. He's done it before. He's been doing it all night.
I think K-Nubs has reached his max donations, so he's not allowed to donate.
Hey, Scott Crawford. I have seen Inception. I only saw it once, though.
I've seen none of these.
Yeah, no, I liked it when I saw it. If Jaffe says he doesn't want to watch the movie I've paid $10 for, then F it. Well, don't F it. It's you paid. And again, I'm sure it's a good movie. And frankly, since we're going to be high, it may actually be a better movie than something like Django. But I'll watch what you guys decide, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. Okay, well, here's what's going on then, fellas. I guess we are not going to go into the cellar tonight, so we're not going to turn the phone on. I have been absolutely delighted to have you on, Scorpio. I would love for you to come back.
Say Scorpigus because you're taking away his possibility of getting discovered on other platforms.
Scorpigus is the man who wears a platypus hat. Everybody thinks he's Perry the platypus, but he's not. The pet of Phineas or Ferb.
Yeah!
Nailed it.
Wink.
Smog says, how much for the cellar? $50. We're $50 away from the cellar, and we'll turn the phone lines on.
We get gummy worms in the cellar.
Oh, Bunny's got the gummy worms. Scorpigus may come down there. Don't forget. Don't forget. And don't forget also, tomorrow we're streaming State of Play. I think we're going to see Resident Evil 9. We're going to get a release date for Ghost of Yodi. What else is going on? $50. $50.
Anthony stinks.
Well, look.
That's my name.
If he wants to call in, he can call in in the cellar. I don't care. But
look, Anthony, all he has to do.
Why would he want to call in though? Why would at this point, Anthony? What more needs to be said?
He loves you.
I know, but I mean, again, Anthony's one of those guys that I can't hate because fundamentally, like I said, he seems like a sweet human who's just trying to get by. It's hard to hate on that shit.
Romance arc?
What's that?
Romance arc?
No. What in the? Whoa! No. The only way I will acknowledge this chat is if it comes from Bunny's mouth hole.
You gotta read it, Bunny.
All right. Sorry, I'm late, beep beep.
I'm in love.
I had a premonition of the romance arc.
Yeah, but it wasn't with Anthony. It wasn't with
I
Anthony.
didn't say a person. I just felt it coming.
All right. Anthony, maybe you can call in. Thank your queen, Canty. Thank you, Canty. We sure do appreciate that, buddy.
Thank you, Canty.
All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. It will be on this channel. We're going to kill this stream. We're going to go and get the massive crowbar that we have to use to open the cellar. Canty and Mish, thank you guys again for saving our bacon tonight. Yay. I'll tell you what, we need to get advice from you guys about, how do we get other people to do the heavy lifting you guys do.
The goddamn devil responds to Canty's message and says, thank you. Shut the fuck up, Anthony. Don't talk to this woman. Yeah. You're so weird.
You can say thank you. I don't, Okay, Necro says Ghost already has a date, so maybe we'll get a demo drop or fucking, I don't know. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited for the week. And I'm excited to tell you guys about a new game I've been playing that I'll show you guys this weekend as well. In the meantime, though, yeah, thank you, Canty. Thank you so much. Thank all of you guys for the wonderful conversation tonight, the super chats, the debates, the discussions. Scorpigus, Tech, make sure you put Scorpigus's links down below in the about so people can find him. Welcome back anytime, buddy, if you want.
Can I do his
OnlyFans? Yeah, whatever you want. I don't give a shit.
I'm doing his OnlyFans.
OnlyFans?
Are you only on TikTok or you're here as well on YouTube?
I mean, I have a YouTube that I haven't tried to push out at all. There's like one video. I'm not trying to push that.
Well,
if I want to get like an editor and do the whole kit and caboodle and really do stuff like that, I could do it. It's just, I've had my priorities in a different place. And now that I'm kind of punching back into being more terminally online than I have before. So,
Understood.
Scorpicus does have a podcast he does every so often called Tiny Riffs. And that's on
What's it about?
youtube.com/techprotect.
Is that the one about little people that play
No,
instruments, like guitars?
so me and Scorpicus talk politics and other shit over there. Because I'm like center left and he's like center right, but we're like I'm left by like 1 point and he's right.
he
by, like,
wants
1
to
point.
put me. Yeah. That's basically what it is.
So we
He's
just
more
talk-
authoritarian than I am, but
Yeah.
it
We just
doesn't
talk.
change the.
We talk
let's-
politics and
we'll
do
get
the
all
exact
that,
stuff.
get all that in
Yeah.
there. Get all that in there so people can find you. That'd be great.
Yeah. Or your TikTok. I'll put your TikTok in there as well.
The dude
Oh,
with the
please.
beanie isn't fooling anyone. He's bald from the goddamn devil.
Why
Did
would
he say
be
that?
foolish?
Do I give off bald?
Yeah. Hold
even,
on. Scorp.
Even if you
Show your
do,
hair.
so
Yeah.
I think I would look good
What
bald.
does that matter?
Show your hair, Scorpicus.
Are we doing this thing? Are we doing this thing?
Yeah.
You want me to show the hair? You want me to show?
Show the hair. Show how bald you are.
I'm pretty
Not
fucking
bald at all.
bald.
No, undo the ponytail. Undo it.
No.
So what now, Anthony?
Yeah.
You know that
undo
sounds
it.
like the great option for a $5 dono to the Jaffe
yeah,
stream.
yeah,
$5 for a hair reveal.
$50.
That's a deal.
K-Nub says, I feel like I could incorporate my strategic communication degree from OSU and grow the channel quicker than what you are doing. Good. Let us know. Help us. We want to grow. Look,
Yeah.
I am the first guy to say if the content is shit, we don't deserve to grow. But I hear from people the content is not shit. And I try to reach out to people who are not just going to say nice things. And so assuming that the content's good enough to grow, yeah, we're always open to suggestions. K-Nub says you should incentivize the audience to share content. I don't even understand what that means. How do I incentivize somebody to share? Just ask them? Pay them? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean.
Just stop being rude to people that call in.
I'm not rude to people that call
Honey,
in.
you see a little grumpy guy when people call in.
Oh, Jaffe?
Necro with $5 says, "Release them locks, you damn Fabio."
All right.
The
Thank you,
$5
Necro.
was so worth it.
There you go.
Anything for the Jaffe stream here. I watched it today, so it's going to be crazy. But
Blocky says Nubs just has more goosebumps on cue. He wants to share. That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Look how-
Anthony's probably
Okay,
jelly.
I
Look
did
how
the thing.
hurt.
Look how
The hair
hot
has
he
been
is, buddy.
revealed.
Now you
Honey,
look
at
like the
him.
kind of man that could play with Prince.
You missed it. Jaffe said he looked like the kind of man who can play with Prince.
She didn't miss it. She didn't.
Yeah.
How much to add a fourth movie? $100. Okay, but you can do that over in the cellar if you want to spend $100. Okay, we're gonna kill this stream. We are gonna launch a brand new stream on this channel. Bunny, you still hanging in there?
Yeah.
Scorpicus, you good to join us?
Sounds fantastic.
All right, let's do it. I will see you guys over there in 10 minutes.
All right,
Thank you,
everybody,
guys.
make sure to check us out over there. Do you want to do this little like mini redirect thing or no? You don't care?
Yeah, sure. Let's
Do it for me.
Oh, fuck, I gotta set it up there. All right.
Well,
Well, we're
ask if
still
you wanna
here.
Do it.
No, I'm not saying I don't want to do it. I said, oh shit, now I gotta set it up.
Meanwhile, let me give you some games, Scorpicus. While we wait here, one of the best horror games from the last. It's a very small indie game. It's like $3 on Steam. I'm sure you've heard of Mouthwashing, which I liked. I didn't love, but While We Wait Here is great. And then what's the other game? Somebody in the chat tell me it's where you sit down and you're playing a game, and your friend sends it to you over the internet. It's set in the 90s, and you're home alone. And the game is like Resident Evil, but you keep being pulled out of that game to your real life, and your real life is a game. And then there's a game outside
I know.
of that.
I've seen it. I've seen it on YouTube.
I don't think it's called Among Ashes, but it feels like it's called Among Ashes. But it's really good. It's really, maybe it is called. I'm gonna look it up. Maybe.
Fears to Fathom 2 is a good series if you want some a cheaper series of like jump
I've
scares
heard-
last about an
yeah.
hour. Deceit's pretty good. Dead Islands are pretty good. If you like the Dark Pictures anthology, which has like quick time events and has attribute webs for characters making decisions as a storyline game, is super solid. Fear obviously is
Oh, yeah.
gonna be nutty.
Among Ashes is the name of the game, by the way. Highly recommended. Highly, highly recommended. Does your audience, are they okay when what you stream is like low budget graphics, or do they demand the kind of top of the line visuals like Silent Hill and stuff?
I'll stream Heroes of Might and Magic because I feel like it, like Might and Magic 6, like RPGs from the late 80s.
Okay, so they don't
to.
abandon you and go, "What the fuck is this? This is low budget horror." Because I love.
No. I love it. I mean, a lot of them aren't there for the game itself. Some of them you can definitely tell are. Like the Cabin Factory went to play that. Views will triple or quadruple when there's a supermarket game where you're running around a supermarket straight up and putting things up on the shelf, and it's a time game. I could pull it up at some point here, but that one, for some reason, my views would go up times 10. And it was every single time consistently, on TikTok, 1,000 viewers, 1,500 viewers, and it was just the game. It was just nonstop.
Have you seen, now this game I wanted to love, I played the demo. This is from, what are they called? The guys who did Dusk, whatever, they're great publisher. But anyway, this is such a batshit crazy game, but it's too puzzly for me. But just check out this trailer. This is fucking crazy, this thing. It's only a minute long. Hang on.
Is it a side scroller?
You'll see. It's weird.
Gotcha. Oh. So it's like 8-bit.
Yeah. But
I'll play like Guardian Legend and stuff. I'll play like SNES games
but
too.
The cutscenes are actually excellent.
Yeah.
The only real problem I have with the game is it's just really puzzly, and it takes me out of kind of the horror vibe, because it's like almost immediately it's like, which pressure plate do you stand on, and collect this and go down to the 3rd floor and use that green thing on the red thing, and it's like it doesn't feel very horror to me in that way. But it is, if you're into those kind of games. And again, there were so many great demos on the Summer Horror Showcase. This one, Silly Polly Beast, was fantastic. Baptiste about the ventriloquist doll was pretty fucking good. So there's definitely some good stuff. Necro, I don't think these are on console yet, but they will be. They will be.
If you want a scary one, there's a Mannequin Hessler Storage. That is a game where you're running around, and every time you turn your back to a mannequin, it does not like that. But it stops, like the Silent Angels from Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah,
as soon as you see
those.
them. So yeah, so Mannequin Hessler Storage, HESS. It should pop up. If it's a KIN.
There
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it's coming soon, but the demo is out.
I'll pick that up.
And it's made me jump a couple times.
Yeah, Zeke Baptiste is really fun. What I like about that particular game, Baptiste, is that, like a horror movie, it moves. Like a lot of these horror games are just, they drop you in a scenario and they're just like, go, and things happen. Yeah. But I like the ones that are like, Baptiste, the demo starts with like, you and your mom moved to this house because your dad has died. And it's like, okay, let me go to my room, put my shit away. Okay, mom made dinner. Let me go down to the kitchen. Then I got to go do, things happen like it's paced like a narrative that you're living in, and it doesn't just feel like Haunted House Simulator, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So,
all right, Jaffe, are you gonna walk your dog or?
Yeah. 10 minutes. We will be in the cellar. We will turn on the phone. Thank you, Blocky. Thank you guys. If we don't see you over there, but am I sending you a redirect, or how's this working?
Already got it set up. Let's just do a song for our buddy
Mish.
of the stream, the one, the only, Willie Farnsworth. Stop sharing your Discord, your Steam.
Trying. Give me a minute. Shut up. You should now be good. We should now be in the Madhouse screen. Right?
Sure.
Okay. So what's the song?
Willie Farnsworth, you're getting your own little song. It's gonna go Tech Bunny, Scorp to Jaffe. All right, 3, 2, 1. Willie Farnsworth, the man who comes first. He doesn't let his girl come. The female orgasm is a myth in our times. Then she has to run. Bunny, go.
So quiet, Bunny.
I'm not.
Yell.
Willie, you are so silly. You make me really giggly when you play me check.
Scorp.
I don't really know Willie. He doesn't seem like a Billy Goat, but he's furry. But he wanted me to remove my beanie as a goal. We got fiber for it. Yeah.
Jaffe.
Willie, yes, Nemo, there is a cellar. We're going to direct you to it in just a second. Hang tight. Willie, I am sorry that you don't understand this song because it's too complicated.
Too complicated.
And sorry that you probably can't hear the song because it's too quiet. I'm sorry everything bothers you, Willie. Sorry. All right, Tech, let's do it. How do we get it to you guys?
Great, that was the Madhouse, everybody. We're gonna be going over to my channel for a little bit, and then when Jaffe comes back, we're gonna make a new stream.
All right, Milo Rose, thanks, buddy.
Love you guys. See you soon.
But
so
you gotta-
long. Stay tuned for the Tech Protect channel, the seller waiting room, and then the seller's coming after. Okay. Love you guys. Ending stream in 3.
Wait a minute. Wait. We're directing to your channel, but
Yeah,
you
they're waiting
couldn't-
there.
But you couldn't direct back to my channel.
I can't, but I need more subscribers to do that. Which, by the way, join this channel, subscribe to mine, so I can eventually do redirects. I appreciate it.
Wait,
Love
no,
you.
no,
3.
no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that
Oh,
because
fuck.
we can't make money. Your channel's not monetized.
We're not doing the seller there. You're gonna go take your fucking break, and then when you come back, we're gonna have a scheduled live stream on your channel, right? And then
Oh,
we'll
that's what I'm
tell 'em,
saying.
go
So we're
there.
going to do the seller here, but we're going to redirect to